everyone, this is Rob,
Hey, Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast and everything you need to know about old school RuneScape. Alright, so this week up on the docket, we are going to be going over, of course, stuff that's been going on with us and what we've been doing this week on our accounts in real life and stuff like that. And then this week, we're going to be going straight into the poll. We actually got poll 78, this is going to be first of many, hopefully, that they have slated for this year. Supposedly, they're going to have one every 2 months, essentially. We'll see if that keeps up. But either way, this is going to be the first one, and it's a quality of life poll. So there's going to be a lot of really interesting stuff here that they're going to be focusing on, stuff like including PVM stuff, as well as skilling stuff like mining and hunter.
Yeah, and they're going over some of the near-miss stuff in the past that failed, but now would probably pass.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that only failed by like less than 1% in the past, but obviously now with a much more lenient 5% decrease to the requirement for stuff passing, they're repolling quite a few things. And on top of that, we are going to be going into the actual update for this week. It's a smaller update. Really, it's just a little bit of, again, kind of like quality of life stuff and improvements for Secrets of the North and the new boss, Muspa. So we're going to be talking about that. And then finally, there is going to be a little bit of a mod Q&A. Not really too much to go over there, just kind of talking about the quest, but we'll talk about it anyways. And then we'll finish off with our very own Q&A like we normally do.
Yep.
But before we get into any of that, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going really well. I actually have like some bigger things I've done this week. I got 99 fletching.
Nice.
Yeah, and I reached, with 99 fletching, I got 2150 total, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I'm really close to 2200.
Yeah, pretty much maxed.
No, I'm excited for 2200 because then I can go to those worlds.
Oh,
It'll make it easier whenever I go to the wilderness, like less people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as well as that, I also got 99 woodcutting. I got 2 99s this week.
Nice.
I'm so excited about it. And I have no idea what I'm going to do next. I also got a level in something else, but I have no idea. I'm at 2152.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so excited. Actually, the other one was also woodcutting. I was at 97 in each last week.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
A lot of levels.
So I now have 10 99s done.
Only 13 more.
Cool. When you say it like that.
Yeah.
This only took me 4 years of progress.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, I don't know what I'm working on next. Right now, I'm currently just like doing shooting stars because shooting stars is the only other thing that's as AFKable as redwoods. But the beginning process of shooting stars is not AFK at all. You have to go and find the stars.
Yeah.
So.
Well, once you get there, it's pretty AFK.
Yeah, once you get there, you can stay here for like longer than you can at redwoods, really. But yeah, so I was doing this. I also like did a few inventories of prayer, did some inventories of cooking. And what else did I do? I was trying to figure out what could be AFK, and nothing was as AFK. I tried to do fishing monkfish, and it kept switching spots. That was annoying, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have any suggestions of AFK ways to scale, like actually several minutes AFK is what I want, which is, I'm convinced it's only shooting stars.
Yeah.
There's something I don't know about. Please tell me, because I can't deal with other people's AFK methods that are only 30 seconds right now. After being so spoiled at redwoods, like getting logged out on mobile because I would be standing there at the same tree for so long, I can't go back.
So what she's trying to say is she doesn't want to play the game, but she still wants to be logged in. So if you know any methods, then...
I want to be logged in while I like play games on my computer, and I'll just not have to pay attention.
Yeah, that's the true RuneScape way.
Right? I'm like, am I having fun? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I just want to get some more 99s, obviously, but...
Or you can help me in convincing her that any of the faster methods are better.
Well, of course they're better, but I hate them. Like, the getting fletching to 99, that last hour was so brutal. So brutal, because I just kept getting so tired.
Okay.
You weren't even here. You were like... Where were you? At work or sleeping?
I mean, regardless of whether I was here, I know what it's like to train a skill for an hour.
You don't get it. When it's the 98 to 99,
you don't understand.
Extra tiring.
I left-clicked, and then I left-clicked again.
He doesn't get it. And it was so funny, because I was doing, like, dragon darts and amethyst darts whenever I ran out of dragon darts. But, like, the back and forth clicking, like, I would get so disoriented sometimes, and I would just, like... I don't know. It's like I couldn't control my hand. And, like, every few inventories, I'd, like, pick up my mouse in my hand and just, like, shake it to be like, chill. It was really weird.
Okay.
It was fun, though. I got the 99.
That's cool.
Fun. It was fun to get the 99.
Yeah.
Let's say that, yeah. But other than that, I've just been doing a lot of raids per usual. Some TOA. I actually did some chambers this week too.
Nice.
Yeah, we didn't see
You got
any.
3 Tebows? That's crazy.
No, we didn't see any purples at chambers, unfortunately. We saw 2 different things this week at TOA. So that was 9.5 mil each, which is not too shabby. But, not the 8 purples we saw last week. So that's pretty disappointing.
Well, to be fair, all those purples kind of sucked.
A couple of them were good. We got some Masori pieces.
Yeah, but I mean, they
more
weren't the
fangs.
Shadow, which is really all that matters, right?
He doesn't even raid. I can't deal. Those are pretty much all I've been doing. I was almost getting tired of TOA yesterday. I think it's just because we haven't been getting as much purples, and I'm like, I'm just being negative about it.
Yeah.
I wasn't being a toxic gamer or anything, but there was part of me that was like, maybe I'll just go do other stuff for a little bit. So I did some clue scrolls and things. I'm still have not gotten Tangaroo, even though I've been doing farming every day.
Wow.
I've been considering maybe playing some more scary games on stream sometimes because I do miss playing scary games.
Yeah.
If I do, did a little poll and people voted Outlast. Nobody voted for Resident Evil 5, so it's awkward now if I play that.
Yeah.
Everyone will hate me, clearly.
No, I think it'll be fine.
Hopefully. But yeah, I also wanted to say, because I was talking to Robert about this, and me complaining about people saying how stuff's AFK when it's not really AFK has reminded me my new pet peeve. Because my old pet peeve used to be people saying stuff was AFK if it's AFK for 30 seconds. My new pet peeve is people saying the hardest invocations are so free. And I'm like, please stop. Nothing, no. If you're listening to this and you've raided with me, you've probably done it too. I feel like everyone does it. Everyone has certain hard ones that they're like, yeah, it's actually really free. And I just am like, it's not free. You just learned how to do it and you're good at it. That doesn't mean it's free. You're just good at it. And I just wanted to say, stop calling stuff free because it's annoying.
Would you rather they call it easy?
I don't know, actually, because I know that would annoy me too. I'd be like, stop. People are like, yeah, Insanity is really free once you're used to it. And I'm like, so it's not free. You're just saying you're good at it.
Yeah.
That's not what being free is.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. If you're trying to take it as literally as possible.
I do take it very literally, clearly.
Yeah, clearly. Clearly you take every word at face value.
Spaghetti here.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
I say it all the time. People are just saying the most ridiculous stuff, and they're like, it's free. And I'm like, we've wiped with every one of these invocations. I feel like they're not free.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
You just have to learn. That's once I speak, if I ever speak fluent Dutch, I'll be like, yeah, learning Dutch is so free. It's like, no, you spend time learning and doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm a good person to input on this.
You need to agree with me.
No, because I don't agree. Because I think Warcat's easy.
Do you think it's free?
I think the only content in this game that I've done where I'm like, all right, this is actually pretty difficult is Gauntlet.
What about Zora? Zora you struggled with, I thought.
Zora, I've done less than 100 kills at, and I already have it. So, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not the best person to talk to about this because, I don't know. I don't think a lot of things in this game are not easy.
I wish you could see the look I've been giving him this entire time.
I mean, it's let's be honest. It's a point-and-click game from 20 years ago. How hard can it be?
You're just as bad as all the free Invo people.
I mean, I don't...
Okay, all my friends.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know about the free stuff, but there's definitely a lot of things in this game that are just straight up easy.
Let's move on. How are you?
Pretty good. Speaking of easy, I got 1,500 total, so that was pretty cool.
So free.
Yeah, I actually got all my mining levels a few days ago, so I got to 72, and then I stopped there, and then I went to Tithe Farm, and I got a few levels there. I got to 69. Nice. So almost 71 there. I need to get 71 so I can start thieving master farmers for their little herb pockets. No, not monies.
Oh, I was thinking Artie Knights, and I was like, what herb pockets? They have weed on them or something?
No. Yeah, the master farmers, because I need their seeds.
I thought you were just making a weird joke.
No, because I need to get in my herb lore. I didn't know you need 58 herb lore to get an herb sack. I already have the money for the herb sack and the seed box.
Yeah, he was all prepared to get the herb sack, and then he was like, did you know you have to have an herb lore level? And I was like, I did not. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, so I think I'm 51 or 48, but I need to get 58, which is actually pretty easy. I mean, it's, this low level stuff still, so that'll be pretty easy. But besides that, I also ended up, I did a little bit of AFKing ranged. So I
Oh
got,
yeah, you've been doing that a lot.
yeah, I went from 61 to 68. So that was pretty cool. Just AFKing a bit with good old Dorgeshin crossbow.
The sand
The
crabs.
sand crabs. I'm on Sand Crab Island. Shout out to anyone that doesn't know that Sand Crab Island exists.
Where is Sand Crab Island? I don't even know where you
See,
are.
you don't even
I
know.
thought you were at like the Moger area.
Nope, I'm on Sand Crab Island.
Is that the Moger area?
Nope, it's literally called Sand Crab
Where
Island.
is this? Everyone look up Sand Crab Island because I
Yeah,
don't even know where this is.
a lot of people don't know what Sand Crab Island is,
I feel
but
like you're just messing with me and it's the Moger area.
I'm not. You have to have a quest done and then you can go there. But
Just Sand Crab Island.
yeah, yeah, I'm not even joking. But
I can't look this up right now because we're recording, so I'm just like, you
Yeah.
suck for bringing this up and not telling
shout out
me.
to all my Sand Crab homies.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I got
On
1500
Sand Crab Island.
on Sand Crab Island. Yeah, so yeah, it was pretty cool though. I got 1500 total level, and I'm working a little bit closer towards my goal of getting base 70s, which is really what I want to do.
Hey.
And yeah, so I'm pretty close to that now. I do have a few skills that are pretty low, like 50 still. Like my prayer's still at level 50, but I did kill quite a few blue dragons to get their bones. So I think I
Oh,
probably
nice.
have like 60 banked if I had to guess, if I use the chaos altar, but we'll see.
Are you gonna do that?
Yeah, probably more than likely. It's just too good, the XP, to not do it, even though I might die.
You could just do one inventory at a time so you don't lose much.
I just do it at like 1 a.m. when no one's on.
True.
Yeah,
That
really.
reminds me, I've been trying to go to the Wilderness a few times.
Yeah, really like no one is on at 1 a.m. It's funny enough because if you wait long enough and you go at like 4 a.m. Pacific time, then
So when they start waking up again.
yeah, that's actually when like all the UK people start getting on. So then there's more people on, even
Mhm.
though it's still US worlds.
Yeah, there is like a weird little window of time where there's not
Also,
much people.
well, also 4 a.m. here is 3 or 7 a.m. in
East Coast.
East Coast. So.
Yeah. I know people always show up whenever I'm ending the stream and they're like, I just got here. And I'm like, it's 4 a.m. I've been here for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Last night around that time, I did like a clue scroll and it was right to the update. So I went to the Wilderness. In one world, literally, there's only 12 people online.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
it's
was
pretty
like,
common.
maybe I should go try to do Vedion. But then by the time I was on the clue scroll, it was like going up like closer to 100. And I was like, it's just going to get worse from here.
Yeah, once you like in the middle of the night, even on like 1500 worlds, they'll get pretty close to like 50 people, pretty normally for a lot of the US worlds. So
That's why I can't wait to unlock 2200 because those are always the emptiest worlds. And I'm like, please.
yeah,
I
so
want 'em.
that's probably what I'll end up doing for my bones and stuff like that. I don't think it's really worth it to do. I mean, I guess I could do the altar at Port Phasmatis, but I don't think it's really worth it. Plus, you get more XP technically at the Chaos Altar, so I think I'll just
More
risk it.
XP per hour or whatever.
Well, it's I think technically 700% XP because of all the bones you get back at the Chaos
I
Altar.
thought Ectofunctus was more.
Ectofunctus is technically more per bone, like it's 400, but because of the chances of you getting your bones back, I think it's 700% at the Chaos Altar technically. Like even though it's like not really, it ends up being that way because of how many you get back. So I'll probably
Something
just
like
go there.
that.
Yeah, I think that's how it works out.
You know, I actually killed somebody doing bones the other day in the Wilderness.
Yeah, I saw.
Somebody redeemed a streamlets for me to kill somebody in the Wilderness using no F keys, and I felt so bad. And also, I got 2 new viewers because they PK'd me. And then, as I was dying very badly, very embarrassingly, I was just like, GF, go fight. I was like, I don't know what else to say. And then they stopped by, and I was like, I'm very clearly not a PKer.
Yeah.
Someone else was like, kind of in the chat, being like, oh, you're like the type of person to kill somebody just for like their like essence on the way to the abyss. And I was like, I'm not doing this because I want to PK innocent people just skilling. I was basically dared to do it. So I'm just doing this and then leaving.
Yeah.
But I did it.
Also, I don't think anyone actually does that because I ran like 4,000 cosmics whenever I was running them and didn't see a single PK.
I bet it's people learning, if anyone.
I mean, maybe, I guess so. But either way, I didn't see them. And I got to 1,500 total, and I'm still going to work on range for a little bit more.
Nice.
Yeah. But besides that, I guess we could probably move on. I don't have anything else to talk about for my updates, so we can go to the poll 78. So it's nice because, like I said, they plan on doing these polls more frequently, like way more frequently.
As I said, 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, so every 6 to 8 weeks, they're going to do a new poll that's going to contain around 15 to 25 changes, and these are going to be more than likely quality of life polls, but either way, I'm guessing they'll change it up from time to time. But
I feel like I get more excited about quality of life pulls.
yeah, sometimes they can be because it's usually small things you're asking for that kind of like stack up over
Yeah,
time.
they get you hype.
But this time they're going to be focusing on skilling with changes to herb lore, hunter, mining, rune crafting, and much more. But like I said, there also is some PVM changes in here as well.
Yeah, and a couple of projects from the Game Jam.
Yeah.
Game Jam.
Also, there is a project from the most recent Game Jam, like she said, but not just that. There's also a special treat, some much requested near misses from past polls.
Yeah, like we mentioned in the beginning.
Yeah.
For the uninitiated, both the Blade of Salador and a Boa Ferdinand can be recolored using crystals from Leanne's. Oh my god, I can't read.
Lillans?
Lilins from Leanne's Wares and Prifddinas to match the emblems of the different Elvish clans. It only makes sense they should be able to recolor crystal armor in the same way. So here's how they look, and they look so good. We've talked about this a lot before.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last week.
Yeah, if not last week, just a couple weeks ago, because it's always bugged me that you can change the bow color, but you can't change the crystal and it doesn't match. So they have one for like every color, like red, white, black, purple, green, blue, etc., to match the bows, and they look really, really nice.
Yeah.
Like, I still really like the original one. I don't know for sure if I'll change it, but I love the option.
Yeah, it looks
They're really
good.
pretty. They say, should this question pass, you'll finally be able to get your Elvish fashionscape on fleek, as the kids say,
No
back
one says
in
that.
2016.
Yeah, no one says that.
By matching your crystal armor to your favorite clan colors. This would cost 1 coloring crystal per piece of armor. The armors will remain to not be corruptible, but will still degrade. And before you ask, yes, we are open to pulling the same change for crystal tools at a later date if that's something players want. Which would just be like a cute little thing.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think there's any reason not to.
I mean, I just would prefer ornament kits or something.
Oh, ornament kits I do love too.
Because, I don't know, just being able to like recolor all of the crystal stuff just because it's crystals seems kind of boring.
So, poll question number 1. Should players be able to use the color crystals of the Elvish clans on their crystal armor pieces? This would include the crystal helm, body, and lakes.
Yeah.
I am going to vote yes, obviously.
I'm going to vote yes, but
I've complained about
I
it,
do
so.
and don't like this change.
Tell me why. Because I'll say this first. I was like, oh, this is one of the changes. Or like, why would people say no just to be haters? And I did actually see this on Twitter that was like, oh, people are going to have ugly mismatched ones. And I'm like, okay, turn entity hider.
No, I don't care about that because, yeah, I don't see anyone in the game anyways. But one thing that I think, like, I don't know why they haven't done yet is make it so that you can corrupt the armor.
Oh, so you just think it should be corruptible?
I think it should be
kind
corruptible.
of agree.
Like, I don't know why it's not. There's still plenty of other sinks in the game for crystal shards.
Oh, yeah. Like my pickaxe, which I have not charged in forever because I need to go to Volcano again.
Yeah, not even just that. Divine potions still exist. There's plenty of ways to waste your shards. And on top of that, I think that it is like, because they're doing this for, quote unquote fashionscape, I don't know why they didn't include the crystal crown in this as well.
Well, that already has recolors, right? It does.
But it doesn't count as part of the set.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like it's just I feel like I think it is a problem because obviously it's not the same set of gear, but I think if like you were allowed to corrupt the armor, then you could also corrupt the crown, which would then act as the same helmet.
That would be a flex to have the crown act as a helmet.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
And that'd be so expensive.
Because it would be fashionscape and usable at the same time.
Yeah. It's just like, was it like 150 mil for it?
I don't know. But
something like that.
Either way, I think it's so hard to get, and it's like a flex that you'll never wear, kind of like a lot of fashionscape.
You'll just wear it to bank stand.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like if you could wear it and it be useful at the same time, that'd be pretty cool. So
dang.
Yeah.
I need to start tweeting our reminders or our suggestions to people. So we just say in here and we're just a little echo chamber and we never actually tell anyone that works at Jagex. Like, hey, we have an idea.
Yeah, so I think this is a good one. I'm gonna vote yes, but I just wish there was more to it.
Yeah. I agree. I do think that they should have just made it corruptible.
I kind of feel that way though about kind of a lot of the changes this week.
Oh, okay.
And one of those changes is actually this one.
Oh, you feel badly about this?
No, I just feel a little bit of both. So this
Ooh.
one's going to be thieving coin pouches. So this has been a problem for a really long time. We know that 28 isn't a huge number of pouches. And considering some of the things you shove in your inventory, it's reasonable to expect that you could carry a lot more of them.
They're actually kind of hilarious.
Yeah,
we just have like full-on war hammers, but can only
It's
have
like
20
you
pouches.
have 2 billion coins on you, but you can't fit 28 pouches.
Yeah.
We also understand that a lot of you don't want to see pouches in the game at all. But as we've stated before, there's a huge benefit to the anti-cheating team, so we want to keep them for now.
Yeah, I understand why they have to keep them.
So our proposed solution is to offer you the ability to carry more pouches. This will take the form of a buff you can obtain through the Ardoin Achievement Diaries. As the infamous thieving capital of Gilnor, it only makes sense. The capacity upgrade will persist across the whole of Gilnor, whether you're pinching pockets in Ardoin Market or blackjacking in the Caridian Desert. So this is going to be the actual change if this does pass. So this question is asking for having no diaries. You'll still only have 28 pouches. The easy diaries for Ardoin will give you still 28 pouches, but once you get into the medium, it will give you 58 or 56 rather, which is a 100% increase. Hard diaries will give you 84, which is a 200% increase, and lastly, elite will give you 140, which is a 400% increase. So I don't see any reason not to put yes for this, but also I think this is kind of a like weird thing to do. Like, why not just disable the pouches at elite?
I mean, how often would bots get?
Yeah.
I don't know. I literally don't know how botting works.
I
So I
mean,
don't know if that's hard to do.
I'm sure there are a few bots that have pretty high recs so they can get elite.
I mean, bots probably, I mean, I don't know. Are
But
they worried about bots or people just cheating and like using macros?
I think both probably, but
Yeah.
also I've seen people without macros, people with macros, and bots all at the Arty night doing the exact same thing,
Yeah.
bypassing the pouch system very, very easily. So I don't know how this, like, maybe this is a barrier to entry for like the lowest of the low no brain bots, but
Probably.
I mean, that's like literally the only one that this protects. And with that being said, none of those bots are going to have hard or definitely not elite diaries.
Elite diaries take a long time.
Yeah, especially for Arty. So,
Oh,
yeah, I just don't see why it's even there.
I think that'd be cool with elite for them to get rid of it. But
Yeah, at least just be like, who has elite and is like, I mean, most people aren't going to do, that much more with Arty at
it's
elite.
funny because I was actually telling Robert that I was thinking about going to Arty and maybe I'd work on my thieving. And I didn't read this yet. And he was like, wait.
Yeah.
Because I have elite diaries done. So I love this. I like that there's a new diary thing because some of the diary like rewards you really don't use. And considering how much time you put into it, I like just like extra little things like this
Yeah.
that aren't like huge. They're not gonna like break the game, but it's just like an extra little bonus if you got them done.
Yeah. Also, it's like kind of, I don't know, it kind of also makes me think like anyone that has the elites are the only ones that this really, really matters to because, like,
So me.
obviously, if you have like medium or easy, you're probably, mid, maybe late game, but probably mid game, and you're getting hit a lot by the Arty Knight. So
Mhm.
there's not really often where you just click for 28 times straight and then you have a full inventory. Usually you get hit like 17 times and you're like,
God, I hated that back in the day.
yeah, and you just have to
Blech.
like, you're like staring at your inventory anyways because you are trying not to die. And so it's kind of
It'll
like,
make it a little bit better though.
yeah, I mean, this will make it better, but like I said, obviously the only people that would benefit from this are the people that are higher level. So the people doing elite anyways, it's like I don't know why we're even like joking around with the 140. Like, what a ridiculous number.
Oh, you think it should just be open then?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it should just be open.
I like that, but I will take what I can get.
Yeah.
So I like this.
Like I said, this is another one where it's like, yeah, I'll vote yes, but also it's like, why not
Could have
just
been improved a little bit.
just do it better?
Also, should note that you'll still get additional coins when you're wearing the rogue outfit. That
Of
doesn't
course.
affect it at all.
Yeah.
The next question is regarding fermenting wine of Zamarok. Time to get a little chaotic with an exciting
Ween.
an exciting wine of Zamarok change. Currently, when brewing up this beastly bev, your chance to ferment successfully goes from 49.8% at level 65 cooking, all the way to 69% nice at 99 cooking. Nice, but not nice enough. Also, why is it not 100% at 99 cooking?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're trying to say.
Yeah, so we'd like to increase the success rate literally from around 50% at level 65 to 100% at level 98, making you a fluid fermenter worthy of a skill cape.
Yeah.
But that's not all. We also want to consider other ways to make this a more viable skilling method. So now they would also affect the harvest rates of farming grapes, the cost time spent obtaining Beluga's blessings from Tithe Farm, the cost time spent obtaining grape seeds from Tithe Farm, which I've never bought either of those from Tithe Farm.
Well, because you've
So,
never needed to.
exactly. Currently, growing Zamrock's grapes using Beluga's blessings isn't worth it if you're hoping to turn them into wines because the crop yield's relatively low and there's a high rate of failure. It's much more effective to telegraph them from inside the Asgarnian Chaos Temple. Changing the success rate helps, but we're open to making further changes to bring Wine of Zamrock production in line with the player expectations. And let us know your thoughts. So the third question, should they increase the rates of fermenting the Zamrock wines?
Yeah, as an Ironman, I have to say yes.
Yeah. I mean, I've never done this, so the first part I don't understand, but I think that basically anything, how are you still failing at 99? So I like that they're changing it to 100% 99.
Yeah, so most people don't really know or care about this just because, I mean, obviously they could just buy
Like they
it.
just said, it's not a viable skilling method.
It's not a viable skilling method. You're probably just going to buy it. There's like very low chance you're going to telegrab wines unless you are low level money making or you're an Ironman. So, or I mean, maybe there's other people, you know, obviously those people exist. I'm just saying for the majority of people, that's why they don't even know this exists.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't know that. I didn't even know that you did at that farm.
yeah, that's the only place to get.
I saw like the
wines in
grape seeds and
games.
stuff, but yeah, I was like, I just thought I'd buy one if I needed it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I want to vote yes. I don't know why it's not already like that.
Yeah.
For the next one, we're going to be looking at farming again, but this
Yeah.
is with the magic secutors. So we're going from fermenting to farming now, with some changes to the magic secutors. These are one of the handiest and dandiest farming tools available, as they increase the crop yield from herb allotments, celestris trees, grapevines, and even the herbivore. Unfortunately, if you're not actively holding on to them, they go from secutors to sucky tours.
Got him.
But what if things were different? What if they could work their fairy magic from your inventory? Unsurprisingly, that's the subject of our first poll question. Should it pass? Absolutely nothing will change about the magic secutors, except they'll now work whether you're holding them or not. Simple. Our next question, however, looks to increase their effectiveness even more by applying the secutors' increased yield to bushes and limpwort plants. We'd also look to apply this change to the boost from the farming skill cape. That's much bigger harvest. So, yeah, that's a much bigger harvest. I think overall, in general, it's really funny because it seemed like a lot of people on Reddit didn't know that you had to have them equipped.
Okay, so first things first, I was gonna say, I love the first change because I didn't know that for the longest time either. I would just have them in my inventory, and then someone was like, you have to hold them right, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I thought they were wrong too.
Even if it just looks like you're like picking the fruit or whatever,
Yeah.
you still have to have them
Yeah,
equipped.
it's actually very weird.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the fight with what's the boss, the free to play boss, Briafita.
Okay.
It reminds me of that in a similar way, like whenever you try to kill like the little things using an axe, you have to right click to use the axe. Like you can't be equipping it. It's the opposite there.
Yeah.
They're both weird. The second question, should they affect the bush patches and limpwort plants? Simply put, I thought they did already.
Yeah.
What? I thought they affected all of it.
No.
I love questions that make people be like, wait, this isn't already a thing?
Yeah. I really want this to go through because limpworts are like one of the
They're
like
really good for pots.
really hard things to get early on as a GIM or an IM in
Wait,
general.
that's how I used to make money on free to play. I'd go kill hobgoblins for limpworts.
Yeah, that's really weird. But yeah, you only get like 5, I think, limpworts per bush, like 5 or 6, which is obviously not that many potions. So I'm down to get more. That'd be because I only plant limpworts unless it's for a contract. So
Yeah.
that'd be really nice to have. Also, I not as fervent of an opinion on this one, but I do think this should also apply to regular allotments as well. Because I want more watermelons and snapegrass.
It doesn't apply to those?
No.
I thought it applied to snapegrass.
No, it says right here, increases the yield from herb allotments, celestris trees, grapevines, and herbivore.
Well, the way I don't know. I thought that was like just listing some of them. Oh my god.
I mean,
Bro, I thought I did that.
I could be wrong. Should we look it up?
Nah.
Okay. Well, tell us how wrong we are. We're not going to look it up just so we can get proven wrong.
Well, I was gonna say whenever people told me about the equipping, I never equip them anymore, to be honest. I used to go and equip them specifically for snapegrass, so I'm just going to be feeling a little bit silly if it's not true.
Yeah, I didn't think they worked on regular allotments, but I'm not entirely sure. I know, the only thing I know for certain is they obviously work on herb allotments because that's the main thing that people use them
We
for.
should just have our big blanket statement, official statement from Bunebape. They should work on all the things.
I mean, honestly, they should. Like, who's gonna be like, oh no, I don't want an extra 2 apples from my apple tree?
Yeah,
But yeah,
because
sure.
it's not like substantial.
Yeah, it's not
It
like
adds up over
a
time.
huge deal or anything. Like,
Yeah.
no one is farming for money, anyways, unless it's like maybe your herb runs, but that's
Mhm.
it, and that already works there.
Yeah, exactly. Moving on to a runecrafting and rune pouch question. Don't you hate it when you're runecrafting with your trusty rune pouch at your side, but every time you craft new runes, you have to manually put them in there? Well, with the recent addition of the range and magic tutor's automatic pick up options being added to the settings menu, we thought we'd make some further improvements. Runes you get from barrows, the floor, and most other places already hop into your pouch automatically, so we reckon it should be the same for runes you craft yourself. If you have the toggle on, this change means that conventional runes, combination runes, and runes created at the Orania and Arceus altars will automatically be placed in your rune pouch, provided it isn't already full of other runes, of course. This will work for both the standard and divine versions of the rune pouch as well as any traveler variants. So, question number 6. Should all variants of the rune pouch automatically add player-made runes into the pouches?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
This is another one of those things that, because of the picking up off floor and stuff, I assumed that this was already a thing.
No, yeah.
It's just the only times that I do rune crafting now is at Guardians of the Rift, or like whenever I did blood runes. And blood runes, I wouldn't even bring a telly or anything.
Yeah.
So I didn't even realize.
It's funny. I also, on top of all of that, I knew all that stuff didn't go in your pouch, but I thought the Barrows stuff didn't, because anytime I go to Barrows, I bring I'd bring runes for house tellies, because I have like a portal in my house,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll just telly back home, and so that fills up my rune pouch, and so I never knew that they could go into your rune pouch.
Oh, really?
Because it was full.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I didn't know that, but yeah, I don't see why this isn't a
This
thing.
honestly doesn't even seem like it needed to be pulled.
Yeah,
It just seems like an oversight previously.
yeah. I mean, I'm glad they're pulling it, so I don't see any reason to not do this.
I agree.
Yeah. The next one is going to be for mining, so that's pretty nice. They're going to entirely rework the skill because that's what it needs. Just kidding.
Psych!
Just kidding. Just a couple motherlode
You just
mining
got
things.
pranked, bro.
Motherlode mine is unsurprisingly one of the most popular mining areas.
I think it should be surprising.
Helped by the useful rewards on offer at Prospector Percy's Nugget Shop. That said, it can be a bit annoying when you're trying to find a good spot downstairs and end up swapping worlds.
Yeah.
I experienced this last week.
You know what actually is nice? Because everyone my level has the upper area unlocked. I just go 2,000 worlds and I'm the only person downstairs because I'm the only one who hasn't unlocked the upstairs area.
That's the epitome of like the biggest RuneScape sad brag.
Yeah, that's like, I was going to say it's the oddest flex I could have said.
Yeah. So we want to make the Motherlode mine experience a bit better.
Imagine.
First, we want to reduce the spawn times, so you'll only sit on a couple of veins to top up your inventory. That would be crazy, because if like there's 3 people in like a vein section, they're gone. If like you get unlucky and you just don't hit like 30 in a row on one vein, they're gone.
Yeah.
So this is gonna make more downstairs spaces overall. We also want to add more veins, so you have more options to choose from.
Nice.
Lastly, we're considering either moving, or if the second question passes, including some of the newer vein types closer to the bucket, which means a better experience for those of you who haven't yet unlocked the Falador Achievement Diary shortcut or the upstairs area of the mine. To clarify though, the unlockable areas will remain the best option.
Of course.
Of course. So
The upstairs is obsolete.
yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, the upstairs area has an unlimited amount that you can mine from them for the amount
Up to
of time.
a minute, right?
Yeah, I think it's a minute or a minute and a half, up to the amount of time until they reset.
And it's more instant, so you guys can all be on the same ore and it won't affect other people.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone can share on one ore, but obviously that's not how it works. Everyone just gets
I didn't
their
know that
own.
for the longest time because I would just think people would get mad if I went to their ore, and then I found out that it doesn't matter. It's instanced.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. So the questions are going to be number 7. Also, they should make it so, I mean, does the Varrock armor already work on Motherlode Mine?
I think so, but I always just use Prospector's or buying Prospector's outfit.
Yeah, they should make it so it does if it doesn't.
It might already.
Yeah, it might already, but I'm not sure. I don't have it on my GIM, so I can't say. Should we reduce the spawn timers of the veins found on the lower floor?
Yes.
Should we add additional veins to the lower floor?
Yes.
Should we place some veins closer to the main area of the lower floor?
I think yes, but I think some people will say no.
Yeah, I think yes to all these. Motherlode Mine is already an incredibly
Yeah, it's
slow.
not
Uh,
fast by any means.
the only reason people do it is because of the prospector's outfit and the coal bag, and because it's convenient.
Yeah.
While we're on the topic of mining, though,
I love this.
we'd like to rename all mining rocks to feature the name of the ore found there, even
Yes.
when they've been depleted. If
Yes.
this question is the past, we'd look to remove the prospect option that no one uses
The
from the
prospect option
rocks.
is the stupidest thing, and I don't know what any rocks are, and it's so frustrating. They're like, go mine some iron, and I'm just like, I don't know which one iron is, and all the colors are brown, and I'm like, what? Which one is it? Oh my
That's
god,
really funny.
this has happened to me a lot.
The only time I ever am slightly confused on what they are is silver and tin.
Silver and tin are hard. It doesn't matter now as much, but the one that really messed me up before was whenever Charlie would be like, I want you to go mine me iron ore. And I'd mine like 6 rocks before I got to the iron.
Yeah.
And if they're depleted, you can't tell what they are. So I'm like, is it this one? I don't know. Is it even over here?
Yeah, I mean, not to make you feel bad, but I mean, they're brown. They're the only brown ones.
The other ones look brownish.
No, the other ones are tan.
That's like light brown.
Okay, I guess just like black is dark brown.
Yeah. I really like that idea.
But yeah,
It just makes sense.
Yeah, it should pass. No one uses prospect, and yeah, this should already be in the game.
Yep.
All right, so we're back from our little intermission. It is the next day, Thursday, and there's actually been a couple more updates since then. A few more blog posts at least, and then even an update to the poll blog that we're doing right now.
Yeah. So we're just going to go over the new things that they added real quick, and then we're just going to get back to where we were.
Yeah.
So one of the things that they did respond to feedback was regarding the rune pouch. With the inclusion of a question regarding player-made runes automatically entering the rune pouch, players have asked for thieved runes to do the same. So going forward, we're going to look at adding this as a question in a future quality life poll, and maybe even include other areas we haven't thought of. So let us know if there's any other you want to just automatically go in your pouch.
Yeah.
Any other situations? I like that people are thinking of this because literally that never occurred to me either.
Yeah.
The next one was Motherlode Mine. So they say, let's get the easy part out of the way and say we will be adding a bronze pickaxe spawn to the entrance of Motherlode Mine as
Oh
a
my
trivial
goodness.
change in the near future.
Thank you so much.
So that means that treasure hunters and forgetful individuals need to worry no more. That happened to me so many clue scrolls.
Not for clue scrolls, but it happens so many times where I'll go there and then I'll get to the entrance and I'm like, oh, I forgot my pickaxe.
Yeah, because
And
there's
it's
a
like,
bank in it. So you're just like, oh, just get the bank.
Yeah, exactly. And so I would just sit there and wait for someone to mine the debris to get out of the way.
It's so annoying. I'm glad they're doing that. Secondly, some players have asked if the upper region of Motherlode Mine could be given some TLC too, referencing similarities to how the Arceus Dark Runestones work. For those unfamiliar, these deplete per player, which means if one player's spot is finished, it won't affect others. Which also, I thought that was already... I was talking about it, and I said how it's instance. I thought it was already like that.
No, it's once one person starts it, it starts for everyone. So that's why everyone should be on the same one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, weird. Fortunately, making this change would take us beyond the scope of not just poll, but a quality of life update in general, as it's a massive job. Essentially, this means adding code that addresses each individual player for each individual vein, and with around 50 upstairs, it would be a huge change to make. It's not something we've taken off the table, but unfortunately, it is not something that we're including in this poll. They also included, I should say at the beginning, that everyone's basically saying a lot of suggestions and stuff, and they're like, we are not adding anything else to this poll. We'll do more polls later.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, a lot of these changes are changes because of feedback. So if you have feedback, make sure to give it because they'll actually change things.
Yes.
Because there's going to be a change coming up ahead that's actually kind of not a big deal, but like I saw a lot of people getting upset about it. And so it's good that they changed it because it didn't make sense.
I'm interested. All right.
Speaking of changes, though, we have the next one, which is the Giants Foundry shop. So a lot of people were complaining that you could not sell your items that were untradeable back to Kovac for more of the currency.
Like if you buy on accident.
Yeah, if you buy on accident, or maybe you buy like a couple of the molds and you don't really use them or don't like them, then you can sell them back. And so now it says that we've seen a few unfortunate incidents happen since this content was released, as overeager players purchased items they already own from the shop as well. So to help with any future mistakes, we're offering the option to sell back the unique, untradeable items found at the Giants Foundry shop for 80% of the original sell price. So it's nice. You'll be able to get your stuff back. I don't see any reason not to do this.
Yeah, but you cannot return Kovac's drink. And it says, why would you want to hand it back? He worked so hard making it for you.
Yeah, plus you could have drank out of it already,
Yeah,
It's kind of weird.
It's kind of gross. They don't want backwash.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's question 11 if you want to change that. Next up is magpie implings. Oh, what it must be like to be a skilling pure, pacifist by nature. Unless you count the thousands of fish you removed from the oceans or the hundreds of chinchompas you've imprisoned in the bank.
It's funny they said thousands and hundreds and not hundreds of thousands and...
Ew, don't depress me.
Oh, you're not Iron Man. I see.
No, but the hundreds of chinchompas actually, even like whenever I work on my hunter eventually.
Yeah.
It's going more than hundreds.
Yeah, it's definitely thousands.
But there's one thing missing from the idyllic skiller lifestyle. Rings of recoil. While there have been multiple ways to obtain this item over the years, it's not currently possible for skilling-only accounts to obtain one without trading. That means that the skillers of today and tomorrow have no way to obtain a previously acquirable item. We'd like to offer a new way to obtain Rings of Recoil from Magpie Implings. If you agree, then we need to determine whether Ring of Recoil would be a new drop on the loot table or whether it should replace the pineapple seed drop. The choice is yours.
I am confused. Can you not just enchant a ring and then... Oh, because that's magic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I was like, you don't have to kill anything to get these, so I was confused. But then, yeah, I guess you have to use magic, so...
Yeah, I don't see any reason why not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
It'd be nice for even non-skillers, like just irons that can't, like, don't have the magic level or whatever. They can just get lucky.
Guess. Yeah. I mean, it is a really low requirement,
Yeah.
but yeah, I guess technically.
So poll question number 12 is, should we allow the magpie implings to drop the rings or coil? And question 13 is, if this is added, should they be just added to the drop table or should they replace the pineapple seed drop?
No.
I don't think they should replace it because pineapples are actually pretty good for farming.
Yeah, pineapples are actually really good.
Yeah.
The next thing is going to be the extended super anti-fire potion. This is actually kind of cool. I don't mind this change. So this one is going to be it's another herb lore alternative from back on poll 77, and it's regarding anti-fire potions. Currently, you can go from an anti-fire to a super anti-fire to an extended anti-fire, but you can't go from an anti-fire to an extended directly, or to an extended super. So
very tricky with their different anti-fires here.
Yeah, so they're saying that they want you to go from, like, currently you can go from anti-fire to extended, but you can't go from anti-fire to super extended, and they want to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd like to add roots available, allowing sufficiently skilled herb lorists to add crushed superior dragon bones to extended anti-fires, thereby turning them into extended supers, which I think is pretty cool. And this will net you about the same XP as the existing method and will support make X, the option
You get to choose how many you make.
Yeah, how many you make, and auto repeat functionality like all the other potions. So should you add the ability to make extended supers by adding crushed superior dragon bones to extended anti-fires. And I don't see why not.
I don't see why not either. That's fine.
Yeah, I think that's pretty
Kind of
cool.
weird that you couldn't.
Yeah, their entire potion system is kind of weird. It's a little antiquated and kind of not as bad as mining, but I kind of wish they would rework it a little bit.
Next up is seeds for birdhouses.
Oh, this is a big one.
I thought this was huge.
Yeah.
Fossil Island. We may not have decided what to do with those rare fossils, but this month we've been digging into birdhouses instead. Which, side note, I'm glad that they're at least acknowledging that they still haven't done anything with rare fossils.
Yeah, they're pretty useless.
Birds aren't just a great way to train hunter. They're also good for getting rid of any unwanted seeds you have clogging up the bank. Since it's been a few years, we'd like to cautiously introduce some new food to the bird's diet and add allotment, bush, and flower patch seeds to the mix. All the newly introduced seeds will cost 1 seed per bird fed, similar to the low-level herb seeds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah, they should add this.
What else are you going to use all your potato and onion seeds for?
Also, before I didn't realize, for a long time, I didn't realize that there was only a certain list of seeds that you could bring. So there was many times I accidentally brought those seeds with me.
Yeah, if you go and
there's some picky birds.
For any Iron Man, you know exactly which 2 seeds, but there is only 2 seeds that you can get from anywhere in the game reliably, and it's from the seed vendor in Drainer Village.
Hammerstone.
It's Hammerstone and the other one.
Jute? No, that's somewhere else.
Yeah, I think he sells 3, but only 2 of them stock in amounts of 20. So you pretty much just use those 2, which is really annoying because it's not hard to get. You just have to hop 100 worlds literally in order to get enough to last you for a little while.
It also just doesn't make sense.
But if you if you thieve the master farmer at practically any level for like an hour, you'll have enough seeds if you use like onions or potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
So
that's huge.
that's a
and
really big change.
Definitely want them to add that.
Yeah, I would be really happy to see that. And so for the next one, it's going to be player-owned house treasure chests. So treasure chests in player-owned houses can already hold a good chunk of coinage to reward players for completing your in-house challenges. However, due to some shenanigans, these chests were nerfed to hold a maximum of 1500 GP, far less than originally intended. I like how they just say shenanigans instead of exploits. We feel
Same
that
thing.
we feel that since it's been 16 years since the nerf, you should have the opportunity to stick more gold in your treasure chest. Yeah, I don't see why not. So here's the new values proposed. So in the games room treasure chest, if you upgrade it all the way up to mahogany, then you'll be able to store 100,000 coins in there. And for the dungeon, you'll be able to store 100,000, but in the higher tier of magic. And it does scale, so starting at 10,000 for wood and up to 100,000 for magic. So I don't see why you would want to do this, but yeah, I don't
Yeah.
see why you shouldn't be able to
It's
either.
weird. It's like
Yeah.
people who are afraid of banks in real life, you know?
It's also such a low amount though that I kind of feel like saying no just because it might
I don't know what
introduce an
matters,
exploit.
really. Yeah.
Like,
Also, I didn't know that there was in-house achievements that I didn't even know treasure chests were a thing.
yeah.
Maybe because you can only store 1,500 gold in them.
Well, I think for competing in the game room stuff, you can set amounts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I've never done it. I mean, obviously 1,500 gold, no one's ever really done it, but yeah.
Next up is, I think, actually, like, pretty cool, but I don't know if Robert agrees.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
So they are introducing some possible Theater of Blood entry mode improvements.
Yeah.
With the recent release of...
It's not the improvements we want.
I'll take it. With the recent release of Tombs of Amaska and all the learnings that came with it, Mod Ed decided to apply them to Theater of Blood during our latest Game Jam. Before we jump into the improvements, we just want to clarify that the amount of development time required to implement this change is now absolutely 0. Thanks to Mod Ed's hard work during the Game Jam, we don't need to spend any additional hours on this project outside of uploading to the game and the usual testing we do for every update. We're also aware that there are still plenty of improvements we can make to TOA.
Yeah.
Fear not, No, they say TOA.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Fear not, that's still in the docket, which is where you come in. You were just saying, you mean Theater?
Theater of Blood.
Nope,
yeah.
They said Tombs.
Oh, that's weird. Maybe I think
Maybe both.
I think they made a mistake then.
You may remember that there's a survey link to the bottom of this page, which will ask you to prioritize all the upcoming changes from this poll. At that same time, you'll get the chance to tell us which TOA improvements you'd most like to see.
I mean,
I don't know if it's a mistake because they doubled down TOA two paragraphs.
Yeah, that's so weird because obviously this update is entirely about Theater of Blood, but they say TOA twice.
Well, the thing is they're trying to copy it. You guys will see in just a second.
Yeah.
But getting back to topic, so the first thing to talk about is foe hit point scaling. So in Theater of Blood entry mode, your fearsome foe's hit points increase by 100% for each additional player. This means the raid is actually easiest with one player, which doesn't reflect how things are once you move to more advanced modes.
Yep.
TOA uses different hit point scaling, where the hit points increase by small amounts for each additional player. This keeps things more consistent. So along these lines, they want to change the scaling top entry to be, like, if 2 players, it'll just go up 90%. If it's 5 players, it'll only go up by 60% of their hit points.
Yeah, scaling down. So each additional player doesn't mean that you're going to need to deal an additional 100% damage.
I like it because they're encouraging you to go with big groups, which is more how it's going to be when you actually do top.
Yeah, if they want to encourage that, that's one really big way.
Yeah, no, I think I quite like that change. They also go over some of the math, but...
Yeah, so at the end of the day, if you have a full team of 5, it'll be a 300% hit point increase instead of 400, which is a big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
In addition to this, they are going to be changing the number of attempts that you'll be given at the Theater of Blood entry mode. Players are given 3 attempts at this raid. Every time the team wipes, an attempt is removed, and the room they are in restarts. If all attempts are removed, you're booted from the raid, and you'll need to restart from the beginning. By default, the Tomb of Amaska has unlimited attempts, allowing players to fail as many times as needed given to complete the raid. Failing these attempts will still punish the players, as for each failure, less loot is given. We'd like to see the Theater of Blood entry mode also have this unlimited attempts update.
I like this because I think that that'll be way easier to learn. That's something that makes it harder, like, thinking about learning top for me is, to be fair, also everyone wants to just take me a normal one, so it's different.
Yeah.
But, like, learning entry, it sucks knowing that if you wipe, you just, like, sit there and can't do anything. Like, I mean, you have 3 attempts, but... I'd like to
I
just keep being able to go back in.
I am conflicted because only because this is a quest. If it wasn't a quest, then I'd be like, yeah, this is kind of lame.
I think because it's a quest, I should have more attempts.
Yeah, that's the only reason I think it should. I think if this was like actually the entry mode and you're actually trying to learn the raid, then I think it should be capped.
Well, TOA, like, it's not capped.
I mean, sure, but how often are you dying like 15 times?
Whenever we were learning it. I think that's the point, is you're using it to learn it, so it doesn't make sense for you to be dying and having to stop.
I guess so. I just don't feel like, I mean, obviously, eventually you'll learn it if you just die a million times, but I think that kind of, or for me, it defeats the purpose. Like, the point is to not die. Like,
Yeah,
so if
but
you're just dying over and over again, I feel like you're not learning that well.
no, but I think you need to practice each individual room. Like, if you're doing so well and you need help at Versic and you keep dying at Versic, like me, and you have to just keep doing the rest of the rooms over and over and over to even practice Versic,
Well, then
that
you'll
just
learn.
sucks.
I just think you'll learn those rooms better.
You're a hater.
I
But
don't
for a
know.
quest, I think it does make sense.
Yeah, for a quest,
unlimited.
yeah, I don't think you should have any limits because it's a quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they go on to talk about supplies on a wipe. So in Theater Blood entry mode, players are not given any supplies when the party wipes, meaning that even though they can make multiple attempts, the attempts become harder as the supplies are used.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking as well.
Yeah. By default, the TOA gives supplies to everyone when the party wipes, with the number of supplies determined by what was used in the encounter. With this change, Theater of Blood entry mode will be updated to also give supplies when the party wipes. As with TOA, the quantity of supplies will be based on what players used in the encounter, but the system will ensure that everyone will get a minimum level of supplies. The supplies in question will be bandages found elsewhere in the raid.
Cool.
I think, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, sure.
That's
whatever.
that was actually a thing that made learning TOA nice, was getting like those crystal
Yeah, I was
honey
about to
things.
Yeah, because I was about to say, like, if you do wipe 10 times on bloat,
You're out of supplies.
you'd be out of supplies after the third attempt.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good one.
Yeah. And the next one is going to be failure costs. So Theater of Blood entry mode does cost 100,000 coins to reclaim your items if you fail. Tombs of a Mascot, however, doesn't charge for failed attempts, provided that unlimited attempts are enabled, obviously so.
Yeah.
We'd like to apply the rule to Theater of Blood entry mode. Please note that other penalties for death, including loss of hardcore status, will not be changed.
I think that is another huge thing for it being a quest, especially, is what quest I mean, it doesn't make sense to have to keep paying over and over to keep going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like Vorkath and stuff, you don't have to during the quest, right?
I think you do. I'm not entirely. I don't remember.
I
It's
don't
been such a
remember.
long time, but I think you have to pay the 100K. I'm not
Yeah.
sure though.
I think you have to pay during Sins of the Father too, but I think it's just weird that you have to pay to get your gear back and stuff after quest.
I don't know. I think it's weird, but also they're high level quests, and you should be somewhat prepared going into them.
That is fair.
It's kind of like, it's like failure to prepare doesn't mean you just lose your food. It means you actually lose something. So it kind of gives you incentive to prepare.
That's true. So moving on to reward quantities, Theater of Blood entry mode gives no uniques and only gives 15% of the usual reward quantities. Even in entry mode, the TOA, the Tombs of a Mask, has a chance to give unique items and give significantly more regular loot. In a shocking twist, we actually don't plan to make uniques available in the Theater of Blood entry mode. It's intended to be a practice mode, whereas Tombs of Mask invocation system means that any raid level is still technically the raid. That said, we think it's fair to increase the amount of normal rewards from entry mode from 15% to 20% so that players are able to earn enough money to cover supplies they used.
Yeah, I think this is dumb.
Really?
I think this is really dumb.
Why?
Because
Elaborate.
they're equating it almost 1-to-1 on every single level to TOA except for the reward.
Oh, so you think that it should have uniques available?
Well, I thought it should have had. No, I think it should have had better rewards since it came out because
Yeah, no, its rewards were really, really busted.
yeah,
In a bad
it's-
way.
It's like the same as regular theater in most ways when it came out, except for obviously it's just not as hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but then you get like literally 5,000 gold worth of stuff. Like it's like not even an amount that you would spend getting into the raid.
So you think that it should be like maybe like 50%?
I think it should be like 100% with just no
Mhm.
uniques.
Yeah,
'Cause
because you won't make as much gold if there's no uniques.
Yeah, no one's gonna farm it with no uniques.
That's
Literally no
true.
one.
Yeah.
And then also on top of that, I think they should put like I don't know, like Justy on the table or something.
Interesting.
Because I mean, you can get one of the best in slot melee weapons in the game from running regular, easy TOA runs.
Oh, yeah, the Fang. Mhm.
Yeah.
It is so good.
Which I mean, it's like, why can't you get like best in slot defense gear? I mean, it's worth like practically nothing now. but you can still at least have a chance at getting it.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people disagree with that. I don't really.
I mean,
I don't have a preference.
Justy's worth like, I think the whole set is worth like 30 mil.
Oh, that's not too crazy
And
then.
yeah,
And they could just make it rare. That could be the only unique.
exactly. And then the Fang is worth like 4 times that. So
Well, it's worth 50 mil now.
oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but either way, it's still worth almost double what
Mhm.
Justy is, and so it's like it seems like it's a pretty fair trade to me.
Yeah. Oh wait, speaking of, I forgot to mention we got another Fang split last night.
Yeah,
There's
exactly,
less of
see?
us, so I got 14.5 mil.
Yeah, what'd you get that on? What was the expert? What was the?
Oh, I think it was like an expert.
It was an expert.
Yeah.
Nice.
Expert or like a 250 normal.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, we've seen people get Fangs, plenty of Light Bearers in entry mode TOA, and it,
Since they do allow any uniques, there's also that rare person who gets a shadow entry mode.
yeah, and people also
Very rare.
People also get pets in entry mode. A lot of people we've seen get pets in entry mode.
Yeah, it's weird.
And obviously, there's not a chance of that here. So it's like,
Why not add a little something something?
yeah, if they're not gonna do all the way up to you can get
A scythe.
like the equivalent would actually be like a rapier and then like a single piece of Justy, I guess, would be like the same. But yeah, if they're not going to do that, at least throw whoever is doing this a chance at getting it. It's not like anyone's going to farm this because I mean, the rewards are so laughable. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems kind of lame. Like there's still no incentive to do it ever unless you're learning.
Yeah, that's my only incentive to learn.
Yeah. Whereas like at least on really low level TOA, you could probably kind of make the argument for like a really low level player or like an Iron Man to like farm low level stuff. I mean, either way you should farm normals, but still it's just like the normal TOA and the normal Theater of Blood's also on an entirely different level, so it's hard to compare. And the next one's going to be for the first time user flow. So this is the Theater of Blood entry mode has no first time user flow is what they're saying. So by default a player is set to entry mode, but there's nothing beyond that. The Tomb of a Masket prompts users to select their preferred mode the first time they attempt to form a party and make it clear that they are distinct difficulty modes to pick from. The final change in this batch will update the Theater of Blood recruitment board to also have a basic prompt which appears on first use to ask players which mode they'd prefer, whether they're selecting entry or anything else.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean,
you just let people know your expectations.
Yeah, and so that's pretty much it. And then they do say, and as Osmumpton might say, that's a wrap. Get it? Because he's like a zombie.
Yeah, a mummy, you mean?
Yeah.
A zombie.
Same thing. Don't forget to scroll down to the bottom of the news post and leave your feedback. So
I did like how this is all one question. Should we improve TOB entry mode as described? They don't do everything individually. All or nothing, baby.
Yeah, I know.
It's like gambling.
That's also kind of lame too.
I kind of like it, just because then it's less, I don't know, it'll just be less annoying.
Yeah, I guess, because, I mean, it would probably be like an extra 7 questions, which I'm not against, but also it's like...
I think people are more likely to answer if it's just one question.
Yeah, overall, I think I would say yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote yes on it.
Again, it's just kind of like the other ones. I'd say yes, but also it's like, why didn't you
You'd
just
like
make
some other stuff.
Why didn't you just make it a little better? Like,
Yeah,
it's there.
exactly.
It's there. Why not?
Next up, we're going to move on to near miss questions. In our final set of questions, we'd like to present a few near misses from over the years. These are all proposals that came within a hair's width of passing the polls, and now that the polling process has changed, we've seen loads of you asking us to give them a second chance. This is by no means all of the near miss questions we plan to reconsider, so keep your eyes peeled for more in future polls. Of one of the questions you'll no doubt be missing regards Vesta's longsword. When it originally polled, it failed by just 0.4%, so we definitely want to run that question again, but we figured it would be more fitting to include it as part of the upcoming return of Bounty Hunter. In the meantime, here is what is on the ballot today.
Yeah, so the first one is going to be one that actually we didn't get too long ago, and it's going to be the PvP Special Attack Orbs. Mm-hmm. This one only failed by 0.4% as well, similar to the Vesta's Longsword, but this is pretty simple. It makes it so that you are able to click on the Special Attack Orb when you're out in the wilderness, LMS, or
any PvP minigames.
Any PvP worlds, minigames, wilderness, anything like that, you can use the Special Attack Orb. Obviously, now you can't. A lot of people that don't go there don't know that, but you can only use the Special Attack bar on your weapon select mode page. So now
Which
this
a
makes
lot of us don't go to that page ever.
Yeah, unless you're an experienced PvPer, then you probably don't go to that page too often. So, Yeah, this just makes it so it's a little bit easier to select for anyone else that's not too familiar with that or just prefers a different way.
Yeah, they do point out that this will probably still be slower than the classic route unless you're tick perfect, and they figure that most PvPers are going to stick with the OG method because they're used to it.
Yeah, they say specifically as a joke, unless you're a tick perfect Osu player.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's it. Just should they add it as a little extra spec?
Next up is prayer filtering. From PvP to PvE, we'd like to repull one of the most hotly requested near misses, reordering your prayer tab. Previously, this question had a pass rate of 72.6%, which is pretty close to the mark. This change would allow you to reorder your prayer tab so that prayers you use most often are in prime position. You'll be able to filter by prayer tier, tier 1 being things like thick skin, and tier 4 being things like piety, healing prayers, and locked prayers you don't have the requirements for. Please note that this change would not alter the size of prayer icons when filters are active. I think this change will be a much needed quality of life update. If you feel the same, now's your chance to make it happen. So, should they add the ability to filter prayers?
On top of that, they even below that in parentheses put
Right, again.
Yeah, doing so would not affect the icon size.
Because, you know, everyone's going to be like, no, because it's going to be too big and we're going to click it easy. And they're like, no, you won't. It's the same size.
Then also they do have specific questions regarding the icon size, but for other things.
Yes, we'll get to that literally next.
Yeah.
100% yes.
Yeah, I don't see why not. No one ever uses the tier 1 or tier 2 stuff.
You know, that's actually what annoyed me. Wasn't like any like wanting them in specific spots, is that so often in raids I'll like try to click like protect from something and I'll actually turn on like thick skin or one of the weaker prayers, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, it can be pretty annoying, so I don't see why not. Also, but I was surprised. I want this to pass, but I was surprised that they chose this one because it actually didn't succeed by quite a bit.
Yeah, 72.6. But I mean, I think that now they're being very clear that won't change the icon size. I could see more people being willing to go for that.
Yeah. And speaking of icon size, the next one is for spell icons. On that topic, let's talk spell icons. You can already filter these, but it doesn't help a whole lot when the icons themselves are still ant-sized. This is one of the actually few very nice changes on mobile. And they even reference here that on mobile, they already changed size. Whenever you filter out stuff, your only available spells become gigantic.
It's great.
Yeah, so the filter system itself isn't changing, and it'll still support everything that's currently available. That said, we'd like to continue to exclude PvP worlds and PvP areas from this change to prevent issues with spell swapping, which I think is pretty appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
But this will just make it so that whenever you do filter things out, the only ones remaining will be larger.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah.
Because they are so tiny. They're so small because there's so many spells in the standard, especially.
They are very, very small.
They're baby.
Like,
they're
whenever it's cool because whenever you are on mobile and you like only have, like, I used to do agility on mobile, and so I'd only have enough runes for like 4 teleports.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you filter out everything that you can't cast, then it just has 4 giant like teleport spells.
They could be bigger, to be fair.
I mean, they're pretty much big. They're pretty much as big as my thumb, so they can get pretty big, at least on mobile.
And there is a little bit of something regarding what we just talked about in the update today. So they said in terms of PvP-related questions, people did raise some issues around the consistency of updates that change behaviors between safe areas and PvP zones, because that one would not change in the PvP zone, it said.
Mm-hmm.
We've mainly made these arrangements due to previous feedback that changes in nature can have a negative impact on the PvP playstyle and or skill gap. With this poll, however, we've seen more voices speak up about the level of inconsistency between these two areas, both in and outside of the PvP arena. So for now, we're going to continue the question that will only affect the safe areas across Gilnor. We'd like to continue the conversations around the consistency between these two areas with the potential for another poll in the near future to allow these changes to apply to PvP too.
Yep.
So just let them know what you guys think. If you think that this really should be added to PvP, tell them.
Yeah. I mean, that can be really jarring for anyone that is like an enjoyer of both things. Because if you play,
you're gonna get used to one, and
if you play 200 hours, doing Slayer with spells, and then you are like, oh, I want to do some PvP, and then you spend the next 12 hours dying because you're not used to how the spells look because they're all miniature again. Yeah, I could see that being really annoying. So that's cool.
It's the next one, the most important question of all.
I didn't even know that this was a thing that people cared about. Should
they remove Hatus Cazentus? That was my third take on this. I'm going to delete the rest. Holy moly, I can't read this. I knew it was a play on Hatus because it ain't us, but for some reason I could not read the name.
Yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. I
looked it up because I thought it was Haitius.
I
And then I looked it up and it was like, it's supposed to be Hatus Kazanis.
yeah. Yeah,
It's
I
just
don't
me.
know. Yeah, I mean, I guess technically if it's like trying to be a real name, it would be Haitius Kazantis, but
It's
yeah.
weird.
Obviously it's just they're just trying to say you hate us cuz you ain't us.
Yeah.
So,
So apparently people hate this dude.
yeah.
Back in 2019, this garish little gremlin of a man was I don't know what he did, was spared the chopping block by a mere 1.6% of the vote.
It's funny cuz I feel like we're missing something like maybe he's
Did
like
something happen?
I
Was he in
think
a quest?
I'm guessing he's like highly hated in quests or
He's
something
wearing
like
all
that.
third age, so maybe people just don't like that.
Yeah, probably.
He may have thought his worries were over, but we've decided otherwise. This is like kind of dark.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're calling him like a gremlin, threatening to kill him. But anyway, but hang on, you may say. Mr. Kazantis provides a valuable service to adventurers everywhere with his beloved achievement diary. Who will take care of that role if he were to disappear? Well, we've already got a few applicants lined up who have been familiar faces around Lumbridge since the early days. Donnie and G. No idea who they are. These fine folk are upstanding citizens of Misthalin, and they...
You said Donnie and G?
What are their names?
I don't know. I've always pronounced it Donnie and Gee.
Holy moly, that's funny.
Yeah, well, in my head, obviously. I'm not like
Yeah.
talking to you about
Talk about them all the time.
Yeah, so I was talking to Donnie and Gee today.
Right?
No, yeah.
And Mr. Kazantis. Ugh,
Yeah.
hate that guy. So these fine folk are upstanding citizens of Misthalin, and they already helped new adventurers along their journey, so they're well placed to introduce the achievement diary system. Whoever does succeed the unlikable, monocle-wearing, censored, would repeat Hades in his original location. Literally, what did he do? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
So the first question, should he be removed and his role given to another NPC?
Sure.
And if he is removed, should it be given to Donnie/Donnie or G/Gee?
Also, tell us how
a
you
new NPC.
tell us how you pronounce it.
Donnie and G.
Yeah.
Them?
Yeah, tell us how you pronounce their names.
It's Donnie and G.
Not you, the listeners.
Oh, yeah, you guys tell it. I was like...
Gee, obviously, I know how you
I
say
was like,
it.
Robert, I've already said it like 3 times, Donnie and G.
Yeah.
Like, God, you're not even listening to me.
Yeah, let us know how you say it and also who you would want to be the new NPC.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it should be the man that everyone pickpockets in front of.
That would be hilarious. You can no longer pickpocket him, and he still
No,
remembers.
You can still pickpocket him.
No, that's worse.
Yeah.
I saw some good ideas on Twitter, though, because Hades, whatever, he is wearing like third age and like looks all fancy having a briefcase, and people are talking about like what would happen if he was gone. Someone was like, you should put him in like the Drainer jail or something and say that, make him an example for real world trading.
Yeah.
Because he's just wearing all this expensive gear.
Yeah. That would be funny. I was thinking, yeah, the jail, something like that.
I literally don't know why everyone hates this guy. I didn't know that that was a thing, but I know that they've retired old achievement diary people in the past.
Yeah.
Because now they have the diary, I could see how many are retired, and I'm like, what did these people do to wrong everyone?
I don't know.
No idea.
Either way, I think I would want either Guy to be it or
Yes.
who's the guy that tells you how long you've been playing?
Hans.
Yeah, I
Hans
think
would be cool.
I'd want Hans because I think a lot of people don't even know that you can talk to Hans.
Mm-hmm. And that would be another way to talk to them. You could be like, achievement diary or how long have I been playing? And they'd be like, what?
Yeah. Obviously, you have the thing that says how long like you've been logged in or whatever.
There's
but-
there's a thing that says time reveal or like reveal time played, but I mean, you might not really think about it or notice that because it's underneath all the achievement and combat
Yeah.
achievements.
Also, I'm
etc.
not sure if they are the same exact number. Like, I'm not sure which one is calculating which.
I think they
but
are, but I'm not 100%. I haven't compared them
Yeah.
directly.
Either way, I think Hans is an OG. He kind of just wanders around.
Yeah, he's just vibing, bro.
Yeah. This next one is kind of one of the ones that I was referencing a while ago. But this is going to be about the Abyssal Dagger. So this one was a last near miss on Pole 78. Or, just kidding. This is our last near miss for Pole 78, rather. The Abyssal Dagger is the most powerful weapon of its kind currently in the game, but its special attack leaves much to be desired. We'd like to improve it somewhat by reducing the special attack cost from 50% to 25%, giving you a lot more bang for your buck. It's worth pointing out that this question only failed by 0.3% last time it was polled. There's a lot of Abyssal Dagger fans out there. I like the Abyssal Dagger. It's one of my favorite items in the game, or weapons in the game, rather. But with that being said, its special attack, or it as a weapon, is hot garbage. It is
Really? I've
one
never
of
used it.
the
so...
worst weapons.
Okay, I would like to say there's feedback on this. So let
Oh,
me read the
yeah.
feedback real quick.
The feedback's going to be similar to mine because also people did the math, and if the spec was only 25%, it would still be worse than the DDS by a significant amount because people don't know that whenever you spec with the Abbey Dagger, it actually takes away some of your strength.
That's really bad.
Yeah, it actually doesn't
No
do,
one's gonna want that.
or it doesn't take away your strength. It only buffs you by 15%, whereas for the DDS, it buffs you by 25%.
Okay, like almost exactly what you said. They said one of the biggest pieces of feedback we've seen is about the power of the Abyssal Dagger. You noted that even with the special attack cost reduction in comparison to DDS, it still feels really underwhelming, especially considering the price difference.
Yeah.
Like
And they
DDS is like 20,000, this is like 3 mil.
and they can both be poisoned, and it is way harder to get the Abyssal Dagger.
Yeah, they do say though that they're just going to continue to offer the question as it's presented, but they are going to look into more questions on its power and an upcoming quality of life poll.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it's like 25%. Everyone's like, that's not good enough.
No, it's
They just need to change
awful.
its stats on this weapon, it seems,
uh,
or like buff its special.
I think they just need to buff it special.
Yeah.
Because
It shouldn't be not. It should be like significantly better than DDS given the price.
Yeah, like people shouldn't be bringing DDS to TOA. They should be bringing.
It's weird
the
that
Abbey
I
Dagger.
bring. It's weird that I bring DDS while wearing all my like a bill worth of gear, and I'm just using a $20,000 weapon
Yeah,
for specials.
It's not. It's not congruent with everything else. It doesn't make sense. Like I said, the Abbey Dagger's way more RNG to get. It's way harder to get. You can only get it from one place.
Mhm.
So I don't know why it has been so looked past on like all these updates.
I didn't notice though, but I've never used it.
I think they should just straight up make it so that it gives you 50% more damage whenever you spec.
That'd be interesting.
Because
You should respond to them.
it's like a good and bad thing. Obviously, every time you spec with the DDS, the way the spec works is that you roll a new attack on each spec. So obviously the spec hits twice. So you roll a new hit attack for each of them,
Mm-hmm.
which can be good and can be bad.
Yeah.
For the Abbey Dagger, it rolls one hit. So if you miss the first one, you miss both of them.
Oh, that sucks.
And if you hit the first one, you hit both of them. So it can be good and it can be bad. But the thing is,
more risky.
the spec makes it so it increases your accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you just made it so the spec increases your accuracy and your strength even more than it already does, then it'd actually be...
That'd be enough.
It'd be a good spec weapon, and it might even be good enough to be used in like PKing and stuff like that.
That'd be interesting.
But
A new fear of mine unlocked when I'm in the wilderness.
yeah.
I see a dagger and I'm like, ah.
Yeah, they can both be poisoned. They're really similar in a lot of ways. It's like, I don't know why the Abbey Dagger isn't just the better version of the DDS.
Yeah, because you have to get that from a boss.
Yeah. And even then, it's only RNG.
Yeah. All right, next up, we are actually going to move on to a couple unpulled changes that they're going to make. The first being about belladonna's plants.
Yeah, really weird.
Really random.
I don't know why this is. Who does this pertain to? I don't know.
Well, listen.
It doesn't-
Also,
it
heads
doesn't
up, there
matter.
will be feedback.
It doesn't matter to me. Apparently, this mattered to someone because there was
Yeah.
feedback.
So they say now that poison dynamite is out there in the world, we found that actually creating them is a bit of a pain point.
Oh,
That's
this
why.
is why. Okay.
As the main ingredient used is cave nightshade, we'd like to make sure you've got the means to gather more so you can get back to ass kicking quicker. Okay. To that end, we've increased the yield of belladonna crops. Currently, you're guaranteed 3 to 11 cave nightshades at level 90 farming per harvest. We're increasing this to 6 cave nightshades at level 33, scaling up as follows. So 63 would be 6 to 13, and 99, 6 to 18. Really not even that much at all.
I mean, it's still a lot more than it is now.
Yeah, and especially if you're making like the dynamite, I'm sure it's convenient.
Yeah.
But it does say that the actual XP gained per harvest will not be changing. So belladonna, whenever you go to pick it, it just picks it all at once. Just so
Oh,
you
it
know.
does?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
I've been doing them twice a day, hoping for tangleroot.
That's embarrassing.
You really don't get much. It's weird. Now, as this will increase the amount of inventory space needed to farm this stuff, you're going to run out of slots very quickly. So here is the secret bonus poll question. Should we make Cave Nightshade into a stackable, untradeable item? Weirdly enough, this will not affect the Cave Nightshades gathered at the Scavid Caves, as that's a different version of the crop.
That's the quest version.
Oh. Also, should this question pass, you'll only be able to poison your dynamite using a full set of one of a kind. A full set of one kind of cave nightshade. So you can't use 2 farmed at the different places to craft.
Yeah.
So secret poll question number 24. Should they make a stackable, untradeable version of cave nightshade exclusively available from farming?
Yeah, this was the actual last polled question.
Yeah, no, I don't know why it's not stackable already. I think yes.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I mean, no one really uses this except for the people playing 1 hit point accounts or 10 hit point accounts or whatever.
So the feedback, it says some players have wondered what the need for 2 versions of Cave Nightshade is. Surely we are making it more complex.
No, one's for the quest.
Yeah, the main reason for this update was to improve farming Belladonna specifically, which we feel it does. So if we were to change the Cave Nightshade found in the Scavid Caves to also become stackable, this method would be the best alternative for gathering the plant, missing the goal of the change. So people will just not farm anymore.
Yeah, because what you would be able to do, for anyone that doesn't know, you can do, in order to do the quest that's in the Scavid Caves area, you have to get 2 Nightshade, and you can just get them by hopping worlds.
You just pick them up, right?
Yeah, so
no one would farm.
It'd be faster to just do that, just hop 100 worlds and get 100 of them instead of waiting for them to grow. So yeah, they obviously don't want that to happen.
Yeah, that makes more sense then. It is kind of weird though.
Yeah. And so for the unpulled changes, I'm going to kind of work through these a little quick because, one, there's really nothing to discuss. All of these have already been implemented except for Pyramid Plunder. Will be implemented. So we're going to stop on Pyramid Plunder, but besides that, we'll kind of just be breezing through these. And the first one's going to be Strength XP for Puro Puro. A lot of people don't know that if you do push your way through any of the bushes, you actually gain some strength XP.
It's probably ruined a lot of accounts.
Yeah, it has. And so a lot of people have been complaining about that for a while. So now it automatically opts you out of it. So a lot of people were saying maybe you should add an opt out, but no. But from default now, you do not get strength XP until
I think that's smarter.
Yeah, until you opt in talking to the Elnock Inquisitor.
That makes more sense because a lot of people don't read these notes, don't know what's going on. They wouldn't know that they could go opt out.
Yeah. So now you can still speed through the bushes if you'd like, gaining strength XP, but make sure to turn it on.
Yeah, and they will not be making you push it through the wheat faster, unfortunately.
No,
it is so slow.
Yeah, it is still going to be very slow. The next one's going to be the catalytic tiaras. This is actually pretty cool because this has been allowing people, the catalytic tiaras, of course, come from the Guardians of the Rift minigame as a rare drop. So if you do get this, it's nice because you're actually able to skip the final section of Morning's End Part 2.
Yeah, using the catalytic talisman.
Yeah, so this actually does help quite a bit during this quest. This is the quest that allows you to unlock the death runes, of course. And although this was definitely not intended, we have left it unchanged for the last 9 months. So instead of suddenly reverting the changes, we're leaving it and giving you a little bit more flexibility on top of that. As it works in the same way going forward, we'd like players to be able to use the catalytic tiara to access the altar during the quest.
Yeah.
So you can bring some Fashionscape into the heart of West Ardoin.
That makes sense. Because it's kind of weird that you could wear a tiara or you could take a catalytic talisman, but you could not wear a catalytic tiara.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. They just made it a little bit easier and overall seems nice.
Yeah.
And this final one is going to be for Pyramid Plunder. So I'll tell you as it is now, and then Michelle has a bit of feedback that people gave. Enjoying the pyramid in Selphanim, but hate those pesky swarms that stop you from looting the sarcophagus.
Yes.
Although this has been how it worked since the game was first introduced, we feel that behavior isn't consistent with how you loot the urns. So instead of keeping it something annoying and inconsistent, the swarms will no longer prevent you from opening the sarcophagus if you're being attacked by them. Instead, they will pause their attacks for 20 ticks, which
up
is
to 20 ticks.
For up to 20 ticks, which is, just a few seconds, as long as you're on the same tile you were on when you interacted with the sarcophagus. However, if you move away from the tile, spend too long trying to open it, or succeed in opening it, the swarm will resume their attacks. Unfortunately, this change does mean that you'll stop trying to open the sarcophagus, but simply click it again, and you should keep going. Hopefully, this change makes your trips inside the pyramid that little bit better.
So before we discuss it, let me just go and read the feedback real quick. The final unpulled change was the Pyramid Plunder. When delving in feedback, however, we came across a bigger problem, one that we've not looked into before. The rates for gaining a Pharaoh Scepter gradually increase for each room you've unlocked, which makes sense. However, when you get to room 6, the chance to bag yourself one dramatically drops, and by the time you hit room 8, which requires 91 thieving, the chance of receiving one is 4 times less likely than room 5. Which makes no sense.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we're going to explore this inconsistency and hopefully in the near future can adjust the scaling to appropriately reflect the minigame unlocks. We would, however, do this without a poll, as it does seem like a genuine game issue we should address. So none of the feedback is really about the swarms. That was just another thing. If you're like, this isn't even the biggest issue, they know that there's other issues.
Oh, now they know.
Now they know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the swarm thing I like. It's really annoying. I have to spam click it until my character's not getting attacked and I can start opening it.
Yeah.
Because no one has time to kill those. You're not even supposed to. It's not even the fast method.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that one.
Yeah, so it's cool. It just makes Pyramid Plunder a little more enjoyable. So
Hmm.
if make sure to actually vote on this poll if you care about any of these things, or give your feedback if you really care about some of these things.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that's it for the poll.
Yep.
And also, so a quick update to the docket before we move on to the next thing is we're actually going to skip over the mod Q&A just because after looking at it, it's pretty much
It's
everything
kind
that
of
we're gonna
anticlimactic.
yeah, it's pretty much everything that we're gonna go over now in the update patch anyways, and so it kind of just reiterates on a lot of that. So we're just gonna go over the update patch, and then we're also gonna go over and replace it with
Yeah.
the Jagex account beta update that we actually just got
Yeah.
today on Thursday.
Some new notes to go over.
Yeah, so
A little bit of change to the docket.
a little bit of a change. But the next thing we're going to go over is the Secrets of the North improvements. So this is the patch for this week that we have not gone over.
Hmm.
And so this is going to be, they do have one quick hotfix update. So originally what they were going to do is they were going to make it so that the boss actually has less accuracy whenever he's moving and then more accuracy whenever he's standing still in his melee phases.
Okay.
But a lot of people actually were not wondering about that, but wondering about them potentially accidentally removing the step back mechanic from Muspa. So this mechanic, a lot of people don't really know because it is not. I don't know if it's fairly new, but it's become more popular recently with Akka, because Akka, of course, is a boss in TOA, and it got really popular there because the butterfly method that was first used at Akka. I forgot who invented it, but whoever did invent it, that is technically called the step back mechanic, is what they're calling
So
it.
they have little beautiful butterflies at Muspa too.
Yeah, essentially. But the thing is that Muspa, it was actually done on accident.
Oh.
So that's what they're saying that they're trying to fix and remove. But a lot of people actually had kind of worked that into their strategy. If you make an octagon around Muspa as far as your movements go, then he can actually never hit you because of the way his movement works, and that's essentially abusing this step back mechanic.
Yeah.
So because that still exists and people still wanted it to exist, they actually went back and changed it so that Muspa still has high accuracy during all of his melee phases, because you can do this boss without ever getting hit by melee, even if you don't bring freezes.
Cool. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
But besides that, there are still quite a bit of changes going forward. So Secrets of the North and Muspa improvements. It's been a week since the long-awaited return of the Majorat and the reveal of the new Muspa boss. We're overjoyed to see how much love Secrets of the North is getting. That said, we made the usual array of changes and improvements, including a few hotfixes from last week. So these changes, it's funny because if you look throughout
Irrelevant to the notes.
yeah,
Like this part.
irrelevant to the notes. If you look throughout the update itself, there's actually a lot of words that are kind of done up
They're
and
bugged.
yeah, they look bugged, or they have like certain like hieroglyphic kind of things
Or
around certain
some points
words.
are straight up just like secret messages. So
Yeah.
hinting at something that's gonna happen soon.
Yeah, so it's really weird. I don't know what it's about. And a lot of people were actually saying that potentially it is about like the new Crack the Clue thing, but it is not. I can guarantee you it is not about Crack the Clue.
No, I don't think. I think that they would have mentioned that something else was happening with Crack the Clue.
They did.
Oh.
So Wooks has been saying that for weeks it has not been progressing as fast as everyone had hoped.
Well, yeah, because he's too good.
Yeah, so Wooks has come out on the Discord is where he actually announced this, is that they are going to be giving weekly clues for Crack the Clue, not starting this week. They're actually starting on the 25th, which is going to be the next patch.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I know people still aren't done with it.
Yeah, and
Which is
so he
crazy.
did give a few more leaks. He also said there's going to be like 24 steps, and they're going to slowly be giving out these hints so people can get closer, because he said that people are not getting close at all.
He's just too good.
Yeah, and so
That's so funny that he became such a good one that they're like, we need to give you guys more hints.
yeah, and so a lot of people were saying that they thought that these little hieroglyphic extra images were pertaining to that, but they actually weren't. And even Mod Sarni did confirm that in some posts over on Reddit, that this
Oh, cool.
is not pertaining to Crack the Clue. So I actually was able to decipher this while I was working. I saw that a bunch of things like this were looking weird, so I put them all together. It says, please don't turn back the last piece. Help hand transparent, added, giving shout out. Find change from last week, making them the false speaker. Must go couple of wilderness boss rework. It's exciting stuff. PvP World Rota has been this update on our more info on the. So it, I don't know. I don't know if I missed some words, but
This is just stuff that he was highlighting or that they
yeah.
were covered.
If you put all the weird words together, then
Hmm.
it does do that. And then also at the very, very bottom, where it gives credit to all the mods that participated, Mod Sarni's name is actually in reverse. And it's actually a
Upside down too.
clickable link.
What?
Yeah, and it takes you to a page that says, you've all been so busy pleasing those who watch. Now one waits for your message. Use all you know in the puzzles ahead, and in return, a reward once lost. To find it, you must speak a phrase to a horseman in an ancient tongue.
What? I don't know what this means, but I like it.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I don't know what it's for. Again, it's not for Crack the Clue. And again, that was, I mean, I guess it's kind of like if you're a conspiracy theorist, it was confirmed by Mod Sarni. That's not it, but I mean, it could be lying, I guess, technically.
I
But
hope it's not Crack the Clue. I think that this is gonna be related to like a quest or something.
I think it could be as well. I think a lot of people didn't think it was pertaining to Desert Treasure just because it's so far away, but I think it
Could be another lead up even.
I think it could be a really big lead up to Desert Treasure or
Yeah.
something like that. But
I do think that some of the words that were bugged were like that you wrote down all of them. I do think that some of them are not relevant and they just did that to throw it off a little bit. Which is like the PvP World Rota, like.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Also, a lot of people, a lot more than I was anticipating, were complaining about the words, making it very hard to read.
Yeah, it's not very accessible.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying. And
True.
now going back and reading it again, I do agree.
Yeah. They could have done like at the bottom they should have been like another news post without the hints in it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something they could have
If you
done.
have eye issues, like reading issues, that I could see this could be very frustrating.
Yeah, because it does cover multiple words.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the Muspa changes.
Back to the Muspa changes. So previous changes, they made it so now onto the bosses themselves. The post-quest version of the Muspa boss now has the special attribute, or spectral attribute rather, means that you should slay it with the ectoplasm matter on hand. You'll gain prayer XP equal to 20% of its max health rounded down.
That's nice.
It's actually a pretty good amount. You can see this new detail and more when you use the monster examine on Muspa. So you're able to do that now. Finally, we've also reduced the alchemy value of the Venator's shard. I don't know what it was before, but now it's much less. Oh, and before we forget, here are the drop rates for the post-quest version of the boss as per our new transparent approach. So the Venator shard is 1 out of 100. Ancient Icon is 1 out of 50. Frozen Cash is 1 out of 25. And the pet is actually pretty low at 1 out of 2,500.
Not too bad.
Yeah, considering this boss is supposed to be semi on par with Vorkath.
But
and,
kills take longer than Vorkath, I'm pretty sure. I think the world record is in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, they do take longer, that's for sure.
That
But
makes sense.
still, I mean, they kind of wanted to put it in that same tier. And I think, I mean, Vorkath's 1 out of 3,000, so I think it's
I'm
pretty
being
nice.
greedy because I like it.
Nice. They also added Below Ice Mountain and Temple of the Eye to the quest speedrunning roster officially. So now you can do that. Those are some pretty quick quests.
Quest speedrunning roster, does that mean that they're out now or that
They
they're
are.
on? Oh, cool.
Yeah, so the next batch that is actually in beta is X Marks the Spot, as well as a very long quest, A Kingdom Divided.
I'm excited for the X marks the spot. I want to do all the short, easy ones so I can get the what's it called? Graceful
Yeah.
color.
And remember, you'll be able to test these quests from any quest speedrunning world, but they won't be giving you trophies or best times yet.
Okay.
The beta quest, as always, we'd like to give a shout out to the speedrunning community for all their help. If you're looking to get started with speedrunning, they actually have a bunch of links that'll help you, including speedrun.com.
I will say now that I've done quest speedrunning, it is very satisfying once you get a good score.
Yeah, it definitely can be. Some other additional changes. Before we get started on this week's miscellaneous improvements, we want to give you a small update regarding the fairy rings changes from last week. After discussions with the team, we intend to make the beams less obtrusive, so you can look forward to that soon. In the meantime, here's a few of this week's changes.
Just small changes.
Yeah. Melee stats are now grouped together on the equipment screen. I know some people didn't like the way it looked after the last update. Group Iron players can now now be placed in the same instance of God War's Dungeons Generals. I know some people were getting separated on
Wow,
accident.
that's crazy how long they waited to do that.
Yeah. Now you can add the Make X option with smithing and when crafting gold and silver items. Fixed a bug where crossbow traps in the Hallowed Sepulchre would occasionally be highlighted, even if they were not about to fire. Increased the max range of Hellhounds in the Wilderness Slayer dungeon, making them easier targets for the cannon. The clan rank icon will now remain displayed after a clan member logs out. We've reordered the clickable options for temple trekking, meaning that you can now left click to continue your trek. Filling vials in the gauntlet no longer interrupts fishing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The organized crime meetup on the first floor of the house southeast of the Lovacaine Church once again happens in a multi-way combat area.
I do want to say real quick that right after the gauntlet fishing thing, they have one of the bugged looking things, and it's just like on the list that says the false speaker must go.
Yeah. Yeah, this next one was actually kind of a big deal for a lot of people, and supposedly this is to reduce botting. It says, as an extra effort to reduce botting, ecumenical keys can no longer be alked, which is kind of
sucks for some people, right? Some people do that for money.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty decent moneymaker.
Yeah.
So
Weird.
Unfortunate for a lot of people, and also that was kind of like a thing that you could just do while you're out and about farming ecumenical keys.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, unfortunately you cannot do that anymore. I don't
Blame
know.
the bots.
Yeah, I don't know why that was such a botted thing. Either way, now the player-owned house can store the top tier decorative sword from Castle Wars. The boost to clue drop rates gained from completing combat achievements has been extended to driftnet fishing. Spiritual warrior animations no longer are interrupted by their defend animations, and they fixed a couple typos in the magic level up messages.
No, I did want to say, you said the decorative sword from Castle Wars can be on display.
When it has a true parchment on it.
Yeah, so it had already been able to be on display.
Yes.
Just now you could add both.
Yeah, for all you true parchment Castle War enthusiasts.
We don't need another person calling you we're a little liar.
Okay. Next week, we're finally ready to release the long-awaited Wilderness boss rework.
Hey.
There are a couple of bosses hanging out in the wild wilderness that could on the
wild wilderness.
Why do they say so many times? There's a couple of bosses hanging out in the wild wilderness that could be tweaked to give you all a better experience. Their names are Callisto, Venenatus, and Vidion. The rework will include updated visuals, brand new layers for each of the bosses. We're also introducing two variants of each boss. One that retains the true multi-combat experience, and a less risky one that can be found in a singles plus combat zone.
My eye roll as you said plus.
We're also offering brand new rewards, including an upgraded version of the Thamron Scepter, 2 new melee weapons, and a new ranged weapon.
Hey.
Exciting stuff. So be sure to get your gear ready to hop over the ditch before next week's update. That's actually really hard to read because of that stuff. Yeah.
Sorry if you have any visual impairments and they're trying to read this, because my God.
Yeah. So actually not that much to go over this week. Just some interesting stuff and some updates. So thought we'd roll through that pretty quick and move on to the final thing for the day.
The Jagex accounts closed beta. So we're delighted to see that so many of you are using the Jagex Launcher to play OSRS, whether on the official client or on RuneLite. If you're unfamiliar, the launcher is the easiest and most convenient way to play the game. It lets you access all our games seamlessly and securely in one place and with the convenience of a single login. It also allows you to add up to 10 different accounts and switch between them seamlessly. They go ahead and include a download link for this if you guys are interested.
Yeah.
So they say if you've been keeping with our plans for the Jagex Launcher, you know that we plan to roll out Jagex accounts over the coming months. In fact, the first of several closed betas is going to be scheduled to begin the week of the 26th. It will be invite only as part of our phased release approach, which aims to ensure that the system is functional. To begin with, we plan to invite player moderators and other select players in the community. Once we're happy with what we're seeing in closed beta, we can invite more of you to test the system before opening it for everyone. Before we move on, they go over some key terms. The main one that I'm going to go over with you guys is just Jagex account. So it says the new account players will use to access our games. Jagex accounts are based on a safe, secure set of authentication credentials using industry standard technology.
Yeah, and again, each account can hold up to 10 what they're calling characters,
Mm-hmm.
which
Secure accounts.
10 different accounts. So yeah, make sure to keep that in mind. Also, they're going to, if you are familiar with BattleNet, which is what they use for StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch, that's all BattleNet.
Hmm.
It seems like they're going to use a system very similar to that, or also even similar to the likes of Discord,
Oh,
because they're going to
interesting.
give everyone a name. I'm assuming you can pick any name you want,
You can.
because they're also going to then be adding a hashed 4 letter or 4 number code at the end of it. So it'll be your name, #1234,
Yeah, it's very Discord-esque.
exactly how they do on Discord, exactly how they do it on BattleNet. So you should be able to pick any name you want, and that'll be the account you use for the launcher itself. And I think a lot of people are wondering like why I don't use and Michelle don't use
Someone
the launcher.
So Robert like came on the stream this morning. I streamed for 12 hours and he came on, was talking for an hour, and someone was actually asking him why he doesn't use the launcher.
Yeah, it's because it hasn't changed anything for us. We don't really play a ton of accounts nowadays, so it doesn't
Hmm.
really help with that. It's not any more secure at the moment, as far as I understand. They didn't
Well, I'll get to that.
it yeah didn't fully like they didn't redo their security. They just added a different like place to
Hmm.
log in, until they revamp this entire thing with their new secure authentication method.
That I will tell you about shortly.
Yeah, until that happens, it doesn't seem like it's any more secure. I saw someone last week that said they got their account hacked because you don't get them hacked in traditional ways on RuneScape. You get them recovered usually, is people
Hmm.
recover them through email.
Oh,
So until they're able to like fix stuff like that, it doesn't really seem like a big deal to not change your
it's just like might as
account or anything like
well
that.
not waste time getting a new launcher and stuff.
Yeah, once they do switch over to the one account idea with the new and improved authentication
Hmm.
system, then I'll probably switch over once that gets fleshed out a little bit. But it just doesn't seem like it's really like it matters at all right now. So
Yeah, mine just I just don't see any point yet because it seems pretty much the same.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, once that happens, I'll look into it more. But yeah, as it stands, it's pretty much just the same.
Yeah.
And yeah, make sure you have, I don't know, like I don't know what they need to do, but a lot of people have even suggested they're all like, it's like saying that that you should be allowed to remove the recovery option on your email, because a lot of people have lost their accounts via recovery on their email. I don't know exactly how that has become compromised for them, but I mean, I agree. If you should be able to have more options as a as
Well, there
security
will
methods.
be actually
Oh,
with the Jagex launcher.
with the new Jagex Launcher, I do like this. This is more secure, and this is actually how they do it on some crypto
Oh, I wasn't
sites.
sure if you read it. I was excited to announce this to you.
Yeah, this is how they do it on some banking or some crypto sites as well.
Yeah. So, okay. They go to say account security is a major concern for players and a core focus for us. The current system has reached the end of the road as our security solution. The new Jagex account system will let us provide you with increased security, stability, and sustainability using modern industry standard technology. We'll be able to keep bringing you more OSRS for years to come without you worrying that your hard-earned stats and equipment will fall into the hands of hackers. So Jagex accounts are going to be using different multi-factor authentication integration to current RuneScape accounts. While setting up multi-factor authenticator for your Jagex account, you'll be provided with 10 backup codes to use as your second factor if you lose access to your authenticator device.
Yeah, this is kind of exactly what I was
I
asking
think this is
for.
kind of cool. And it says that these codes are only going to be shown once and they can only be used once. So be sure to record them safely and securely. Probably write them down on a piece of paper somewhere that you can keep it like safe.
This is something you would keep.
Should have a physical copy of this probably.
Yeah, something somewhere. Keep these somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere not hackable. Someone breaks in your house, steals your codes.
Well, to be fair, you could leave these on your computer, because at that point, if someone is reading through your computer, then you have a lot more problems.
Yeah, there's more issues going on than just your RuneScape account.
Yeah,
So they say to import a character to a Jagex account, you'll log into that character and enter your authenticator details as usual. Once the character has been imported, the MFA for the associated RuneScape account will no longer work. You'll need to use the MFA associated with your Jagex account. And RuneScape account is just how we currently log in right now, and your character is just your account.
yeah.
You can still play multiple characters at once and make progress simultaneously, assuming all the characters are linked to your Jagex account. So, in short, the Jagex account launcher is how we're going to provide you with strong, modern account security, as well as an easier way to log in and manage multiple characters.
Yeah, so you'll have 10 additional backup codes, so don't lose your account 10 additional
Kind of
times.
scary that you can only use each one time. And I'm like, do they give you more codes after that?
I mean, you have some serious
10
issues.
strikes and you're out.
Serious issues if you need all 10 of them.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, they are going to be running a beta on this starting on the week of the 26th, and that is just going to be with select people. You can get invited to join, but it doesn't seem like you're able to just ask to join as it is right now. Also, don't worry if this all sounds too much. They said they're going to be sharing instructional videos for every new stage of the beta in the news post and across social media to help you along if you're like kind of confused about this. Rob and I are doing a real bad job. But yeah, I mean, I think this is like a huge change.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is something they've needed for a really long time. I think for an example is looks like they're copying a lot of what Blizzard Battle.net has done. And they've had that for many years at this point, at least 5 years.
We're catching up though.
So yeah, it's finally they're coming into the 21st century, but it's obviously taken a long time, and it's become a running joke that security is like the last thing Jagex cares about. So
yeah,
this helps combat that a little bit, but it's kind of a wait and see if it actually works. So
there was some frequently asked questions I did want to go over too. A couple that I was wondering myself are like, will you be able to log into multiple characters at once? And yes, you are. You just choose a different character for each client and you can play them at the same time. Does this change affect RuneLite users? All RuneLite players have access to RuneLite through the launcher right now. The Jagex account won't affect this and will continue to work seamlessly, so don't worry about not being able to use RuneLite. Will I be able to have multiple Jagex accounts simultaneously logged into the launcher? At launch, we are not looking to support logging into the launcher with multiple Jagex accounts. The point of the Jagex account is that you never need more than one. You can set as many characters as you need. They literally say if you run out of character slots, tell us.
Yeah, so you'll be able to have, 10 different accounts.
That's just like with their one-click login.
Yeah, so you'll have 10 different accounts, like quote-unquote accounts on the same OG accounts. You'll be able to have up to 10 of those, but it'll just all happen from one browser.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to launch all 10 from one browser at the same time, assumedly. But you will not be able to have more than one login for the browser itself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a spider web, or like a what's it called? Like a scatter map, like where all the extra bubbles come out of the center bubble.
Oh, like those little diagrams?
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, so you'll only be able to have one of those where all the bubbles are coming out. It's just one.
I did want to go over also, they said, what is the full password policy for Jagex accounts?
Oh, goodness.
The minimum password length must be 8 characters with a maximum set to 64.
That is much better because right now I think it's 21.
Any symbols, combination numbers, and capital letters are allowed.
Wow.
So case sensitive?
Wow, so much better.
But the password must meet a minimum strike 3 out of a possible 4 according to the ZXC VBN standard, and we will inform you when you're registering your account if your password is not meeting these requirements. Another question was how will character recovery work? Characters that are imported to a Jagex account will no longer be recoverable using the RuneScape account recovery system.
Finally.
You'll be able to choose which security features are enabled in your account. By default, login verification recovery is possible with access to your email, but you can choose to switch to the app-based multi-factor authenticator, which will require the code from the app or one of your 10 backup codes to use. I mean, as soon as they implement all this stuff, I'm totally going to switch to Launcher.
Yeah, this seems leaps and bounds better. For anyone that's wondering, like, oh, this sounds pretty standard. Yeah, this is really standard. And this is, like...
We're just really behind on the times here.
You are not allowed to have any special characters or anything in your password. You can't have capitalization. You can. It just doesn't matter. The max length is, like, 21 or 22 characters.
They didn't say it's case sensitive. How do we know that
it says capitalization is allowed?
But maybe they don't care
about yeah. So all of these things we don't have right now. Like, we're living in stone ages as far as security goes. Like, any security professional looks at this and their brain just sets on fire because this is so crazy, like, old and antiquated.
Oh, it's so funny because Robert's actually learning security, like, for IT
like,
now. So this is probably extra funny for you.
I'm like reading this and I'm like, Jesus, how did this ever pass any type of screening process?
Yeah, I think that would be huge. Next question, can one character be linked to 2 separate Jagex accounts? And can I share a RuneScape character between multiple Jagex accounts? It is a no to both of these questions. We'd like to remind you that account sharing is against the rules of RuneScape, though we're aware that sharing does occur. Sharing access to your characters represents an account security risk, and so Jagex doesn't allow for it to occur. Okay, we get some very mixed signals on account sharing.
Well,
Literally, there was an account that mods knew about and participated in that anyone in the world could log into.
Well, the thing is, they've clarified this in the past, but I don't think it's ever been like official. Like they're not gonna write this down. But in the past, it's been said by mods that it's okay to share accounts as long as they're not for some type of
A huge achievement.
like huge achievement, some kind of monetary benefit or anything like that.
So, like me fishing for you the other week, I'm not going to get banned for that.
Yeah, like I think it's different. Whereas like if you go out and like
seek someone,
like seek out this dude that just runs you through Inferno for $100, that's different than paying Jimmy, your boy down the street, like $20 to do it for you.
Yeah,
that's like they don't care about that stuff. They care about the like going out and seeking this as like a business practice.
It's really weird. It's like it's hard to say the rules for it.
Yeah.
In that case.
And that's the thing is like...
Because like if you have like a kid, or you shouldn't tell your kid like, you're actually not allowed to touch my account, otherwise I'm going to get banned. Like what?
That's the thing. They even say that they know that this occurs, so it's on their radar. They just don't care about these lesser offenses.
Yeah.
But like, again, if you are racing for an achievement in game like World First something, then... and it's...
If it's prestige, it seems like it's not allowed.
If it's obvious that your account hasn't logged off in like 56 hours, you're probably likely to get banned. It's like just straight up. So, I mean, stuff like that, probably don't do that.
Yeah. They go over a few other questions that we're not going to go over because there's like a lot. But just like asking if your Jagex account name, character name can be the same, which yes, they can. And then... asking if you could change your Jagex account name, and you are going to be allowed to, which is huge because as is right now, you cannot change your login info.
Yeah, it's currently linked to your email and your email alone.
One thing that's unfortunate, though, they do say, well, Jagex accounts require 1 membership per character. No, all purchases, including memberships, are made at the character level. As such, it is 1 membership per character for both games.
Yeah, of course.
So that means
they wouldn't lose out on money like that.
I hate that. I think it's actually so dumb considering, like, I mean, I don't know how other games work.
That's how it works for Battle.net as well.
Yeah, it's kind of lame because, like, a lot of people have multiple accounts and you have to pay for each individual account.
Yeah.
Especially as they're saying, like, yeah, everything's going to be all part of the same account, but you have to pay, like, it separate.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly how it is for World of Warcraft as well, but it's different because it's, like, weird. For World of Warcraft, you can have, like, a bunch of accounts linked to one thing, and you can log into all of them from one thing, but you have to have memberships for each of them. But the difference is you can have, like, 60 characters per account on World of Warcraft, so you could have, like, 60 times 5, 300 characters.
Oh, my God.
But, yeah, so it's not the same, but it is the same in that you can only have one account is 1 membership.
Yeah, I think that one's unfortunate, but
yeah,
that'll be about it for this. We will be leaking the rest of this.
I wonder how much money they'd lose on that if they changed it.
I don't know. They
Probably
still have enough money.
Probably not enough to compensate. Like they'd probably gain new players, but not enough to compensate how much money they'd lose.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because there's plenty of people that have 2 accounts.
Oh yeah, definitely. That'll be it for this, but we can move on to our Q&A.
Yep, we'll finish off with our Q&A as per usual.
Our first question is going to be from Ivor on Discord. Who is the best NPC? The correct answer is Tyndall Marchant, purely because of his name.
Okay.
Who do you think is the best NPC?
Who's the best NPC? I mean, I think I've answered this before.
Saying, I already know who you're going to say.
I mean, I've said it before that it's the wise old man.
Yeah.
But I guess I could change my answer because I don't want to give the same answer again.
I think Neve. I think Neve is very cool.
You think Neve?
She's dope.
I mean, she is pretty cool. Yeah, rest in peace. Big time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hate that she died.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
Also, like, maybe one of the trolls with, like, the funny names.
Yeah.
Like, My Arm, Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
except for, like, I like the other names more. Wasn't there one that was, like, Drunken Dwarf's Leg or something?
Well, I was about to say, shout out to that one troll that, like, just straight up ate that drunken dwarf that fell off the
Yeah,
the
no,
roof.
that was gnarly. But he was named after him, so I kind of liked that one.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite NPC is? This one troll that's always sleeping, and his name is, like, Rock or something. And the first time that I ever noticed him doing Slayer, because he just sits there because he's sleeping, I was like, oh my god, my game is bugged. Like, it says that this is a rock, but there's a troll here. Because I forgot that trolls are named after what their first food is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have mine be that little rock troll guy. Because he made me think that my game was broken. Because I totally forgot their names.
Okay.
It's a good answer.
I'm going to say... this is gonna be kind of weird, but I can't really think of anything else right now. But I'm gonna say Saren, just because I think she's a really cool boss. I think
Oh,
she's one
that's
of
the
the
Song of the Elves boss?
yeah, I think she's one of the coolest bosses.
She is very cool.
So she is an NPC, but not in the way I think that you were thinking.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Next up is going to be from Matt over on Instagram. Would you rather have a new skill that in a 2024 poll, 36% of players considered their favorite skill in the game, or have a highly effective bot detection and punishment technique that reduces their presence to only 1 per 10,000 players in 2024?
Oh, that.
I want to say that just for everyone else, but for me, like selfishly, I would want to choose the skill one.
This is a lot like Saint Raid's question.
Race question of the week.
Yeah, it's like, would you rather not have any updates for a year or
Get rid of bots?
Get rid of bots. And this is much more realistic because, I mean, obviously it wouldn't get rid of all bots, but 1 out of 10,000 is really, really good.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
Yeah, that would be really good because I mean, if I had to guess right now, it's 1 out of 100 or something like that, or even less, like probably 1 out of 50, and that's still being pretty generous.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think a lot of people would say 1 out of 10, but
I don't know if it's that much.
I mean, that means for every 1,000 there's 100. I think that's pretty realistic.
Maybe.
But either way, yeah, I would definitely take the 1 out of 10,000 for sure.
I will choose that. If it actually made a difference, I would choose that. But yeah, I would want the skill one because like that's how you know the skill's done right is you add a new skill in the next year. 1 of every 3 people are like, this is my favorite skill.
Yeah.
That's how I know this would be a lit skill if it was added to the game.
Yeah. I mean, also the thing is like as I'm becoming more of an Iron Man, I also care less about bots. So I still, for the integrity of the game, would say the second one, but I would deep down want to say the first one because I just don't care about bots anymore.
I don't care about bots. Next up from Hariger, and these are moving more. This is kind of like a hybrid real life and RuneScape question.
Yeah, if you're done, if you only want to listen to the RuneScape stuff, this is probably the end of it.
Yeah, this one we'll do a little bit with RuneScape, but then we also have another question from Ivor that's real life.
Yeah, so
this question. Where does OSRS rank in terms of how much time you spend thinking about things? For example, work number 1, food number 2, OSRS number 3, etc. And also, kind of want to know your opinions on the most hated thing you find most fun. For example, if you have training, mining, or rune crafting.
Oh, okay.
So, shall I answer first to you?
I don't know. I mean, I can go. I don't care.
Go for it.
Yeah, so it ranks very low.
Really?
Yeah, very, very low.
I think weirdly the podcast ranks higher than actual RuneScape for you, probably.
Not on things I think of. No.
Okay.
Whenever it's time to think of it, yeah, it ranks higher. But I don't really think of RuneScape. I sit down on my computer and then I think, oh, I should probably be leveling right now. Like that's how it goes. Like I don't think of, like I'll think of food first probably.
Food number 1 always.
Yeah, probably, and then I'll think about like study, and then I'll think about work, and then I'll think about probably finances, and then I'll think about RuneScape.
I knew that'd be low on you because I feel like anytime that I asked Robert Singo, he's like, how poor we are.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think about RuneScape.
Yeah.
Like whenever
you just do it.
Yeah, it kind of comes in waves sometimes. Like sometimes I'll be like, oh, I really want to do this. And
yeah,
then,
sometimes he's super into it and it's like all we talk about.
And then it'll move up a couple slots, but it's never at the
number 1.
Never at the number 1. Never.
I think mine are like number 1. Honestly, I think about the stream a lot. It'd be like stream, and then food, then sleep, and then probably actually RuneScape. But like you said, like I don't really think about it as much as I more just go and do stuff.
Yeah.
I think that stream maybe counts for RuneScape, so maybe it is potentially number 1 because I'm thinking about this stream and like stuff about the stream all the time. It feels like.
Yeah.
And then it would be like Dutch because I think about like, oh my god, I really need to learn more Dutch. I need to go practice more Dutch. Which, side note, I've been doing a pretty good job studying it lately, which is nice.
Also, I wanted to clarify that like I don't think about food like all the time. I wake up and eat food, and then I think about food a lot because I usually make food for the both of us.
Robert's a really good cook
for lunch and dinner, so that's usually what I'm thinking about is like what she would want for like food and stuff like that. So that's why I think about it more than usual.
Yeah, I just think about it a lot because I like food.
Yeah.
And I just like thinking about different foods that sound good.
But also for the second question, something that I do that other people find monotonous
Mm-hmm.
would
That people
be
hate.
most like AFK things. I
Yeah, you don't
really
mind.
I really don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the most AFK stuff, like fishing the 10,000 Karam ones, I didn't mind doing that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Or something that a lot of people hate is like the pest control grind. I don't care about that either.
I hated that at first, but once I was going for my elite, I didn't mind as much.
Yeah, there's been a couple things where yeah, people just like catching chinchompas. I don't mind either. Yeah, just stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess the more boring stuff, I don't really mind.
Yeah. Mine's like, I don't know if it's hated, but I actually kind of enjoyed doing the 99 woodcutting just because it
Okay.
was so chill.
Yeah.
Another one, I know that this is kind of like, this is a yes and a no because I now like really like training rune crafting, which a lot of people hate, but it's because I love Guardians of the Rift. And a
Yeah.
lot of people love Guardians of the Rift. So
Yeah.
I don't know, that's just kind of like a middle one. Kind of hated, kind of not.
Yeah.
But probably woodcutting. I don't think that a lot of people like woodcutting because it is slow.
Yeah.
Specifically, I like doing redwoods. And we actually have a response from somebody else on that. So for Divine Rank, their current ranking for their life is number 1 sleep, number 2 OSRS, number 3 catching on shows, number 4 eating, and number 5 work. But moving on, our last question is going to be from Ivor again. What is your favorite meal and how do you make it? And it's funny because Ivor actually asked this last week, but he put it in the wrong channel. Also, I was going to ignore it anyway because he requested we answer this in our most chocolatey ASMR voice. And I was like, I'm not going to do that.
No.
But we'll answer the question for you. So, yeah, what's your favorite meal and how do you make it?
Okay. Like ever or
I mean, that you make, I'd say that you make now
that
still.
I make now? Okay. Yeah, it's probably gonna be my breakfast, honestly.
Oh, yeah, tell him your breakfast.
Yeah, it's
He literally told people on stream today.
I've had it every morning for the past couple
Couple weeks?
months,
Oh,
probably.
months, you think?
Well, definitely at least a month.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I've been eating a lot of oats, just like regular rolled oats. I actually need to buy more, and not like the instant ones, like just regular, like old fashioned rolled
Yeah, he's
oats.
very specific about which ones he wants.
Yeah, so this is it's has a lot of fruit in it ideally. So you can either use fresh or frozen. If it's frozen, I just throw like usually blueberries and or mango into a bowl, heat it up for 30 seconds. It's still cold, don't worry.
It's just hot fruit.
No, it's still cold. It just makes it so it's not frozen. And then you put like a cup of oats if you're hungry, half a cup if you're not, and then I either do flax meal. You have to grind flax. You can't eat it whole. So flax meal or hemp seeds. I think it's hemp hearts or
Hemp hearts, yeah.
Yeah, hemp hearts, I think it's called. But yeah, either one of those. I mean, it's a very nutritious meal.
Probably why you like it a lot.
Yeah, maybe. And then I'll also do like some like salt on it and then like just milk to the top like it's cereal. And then
Mhm.
I'll do like maybe like 1 or 2 teaspoons of maple syrup and then just mix it around like that.
Nice. Yeah, it's like his cereal made of oats every day.
Yeah, and a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, you don't heat it up?" No, I can. You can heat it up for 2 minutes and it'll be just like
oatmeal?
it'll just be like oatmeal, but I don't heat it up. I eat it just like cereal.
Yeah, he likes the cereal aspect of it.
Yeah. It's really quick and it's really, really nutritious and it gets you a lot of fiber.
And it's delicious.
Yeah.
Mine is so the opposite. My favorite meal in general, I actually cook myself usually.
Wow. Who would have
It's
thought?
double cheeseburgers.
Yeah. She's really weird about these.
So Robert used to make these and I thought he always made them better. And then I started making them and now I feel like I make them better.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what you do, my little recipe. It's so easy. You just get thawed impossible meat. It has to be impossible. Beyond is not as good in this situation.
Okay.
You have to have like the little beef thing of it. What's it called? Is it just called ground beef?
Yeah, it's mimicking a pound of ground beef.
Yeah, but impossible meat, which is vegan. And then you get that and you put salt and pepper on it. And that's another thing that I do well. I put the perfect amount of salt and pepper. It was
Oh,
definitely
okay.
too salty the other day. But take those and then put them in the pan and like squish them down. So like almost like smash burger style. Very, very flat. I think that was the difference between Robert and I is I think I flattened them more because even whenever I ate meat, I liked meat more overdone. So I like to cook it so it's more cooked. And then I'm like super specific. I'll like cook it like that for 2.5 minutes and then I'll flip it and put cheese on and put a lid on. And then I would recommend vegan smoked Gouda cheese. That's the best. And Then I'll leave the lid on for like 2 minutes, and I'll take off the lid and still leave it for a minute and a half. And then I just put like mayonnaise on a burger, and voila. Impossible double cheeseburgers. I'm a chef.
Yikes.
Also, I have to microwave the buns first because we keep them in the freezer, and then heat them up in the pan.
Yeah. So based on those two things, it sounds like we don't cook, but that's just because.
What do you mean we don't cook? That's like I'm like craving that. I'm gonna make it tomorrow. I'm already planning it.
Okay. Yeah. Based on those two things, it probably doesn't sound like we cook, but I usually don't. I usually make something different every day for lunch and dinner as
Robert
well.
made like a sweet and sour, like stir fry noodle situation last night. It was delicious.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of make different stuff. I'd say the easiest thing to make is like Asian cuisine. But yeah. I make that the most often.
My easiest meal is my breakfast. He has his fancy one, and I just have a piece of toast.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, toast is good.
But
yeah. What are your plans for this week?
I finished most of the things that I wanted to get done last week during that one. So hopefully I'll continue this week, and I want to get to at least 70 range, 71 farming, and then I think that's kind of all I want to do. I also want to do some quests, and then I'll probably do hopefully a little bit of thieving after I get 71 farming, but that's it.
Nice.
Yeah, what about you?
Just reading more. I'm just gonna keep reading, and I really want to see more purples. I'd like to see a couple more purples in my name. I'd like a new collection log slot. I've still not even gotten a Fang or a Ward, so I'm like, I won't be disappointed in those.
Nice.
But yeah, I'll take what I could get, raid some more. I really want to get more practice on experts because we did wipe a couple times yesterday.
Yeah.
But
You should try some solos.
I should try some solos, but I only like raiding when I'm streaming because if I get a staff or a pet off stream, I would be very annoyed that I wasn't streaming.
Yeah, you can do solos on stream.
No, but whenever I start streaming and I go to raids, people are like, "Oh, can I come join?" And I'd rather raid with them than be alone.
Yeah.
I did one solo the other day just because it was right before an update, but that was like it.
Yeah.
Because I always have people who want to join, and if people are offering, I'm not going to say no. I'd rather go with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if people ever aren't joining, I'll try more solos. I just did a 150 and I could do it, so maybe I could try 200.
Okay.
Yeah, solos I'm definitely going up slower because I have like, sometimes it says that I'm the leech on expert and stuff just because I don't have as good of gear as everyone. And I'm like, I definitely more panic run, so I have less DPS.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. So I need to practice so I could save up and buy better gear.
Yeah, there's a couple times you get the archer or the sorcerer, but...
Mostly I get the picky eater lately.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it just means I've eaten the least amount of food because I really rely on ambrosias.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be it for us this week. If you guys want to stop by the stream and see me reading, you can at twitch.tv/Bunebape. I stream 5 days a week, 8 hours a night, 8+ hours a night. Like today was 12 and a half. Kind of depends how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling awake, I will stay up and go for more porps. And I may not get them, but that's okay.
Yeah.
If you want to ask us any questions, you can on Twitter at Bunebapeosrs, or our Instagram and YouTube are both Bunebape. Also, check out our Discord. You can join that via the stream, and you can ask us questions there if you want to be involved in the Q&A.
Yeah, so I think that's about it. Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Thank
Hope you
you.
all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all
Very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.